Why, hello there. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Agostino Zinga Show with your host, Agostino Zinga. And this is episode number 986. This is episode number 986 of the Agostino Zinga Show, coming at you live and direct from an undisclosed location somewhere within the depths of East London. How you doing? How you feeling? How you doing? How you feeling? Great. Good to know. Good to know. Good to know. How am I? All good, all things considered. I'm a little bit pissed off, of course, because United lost again. We lost again against Aston Villa away from home, 2-1. I'm going to be moaning about that in a little bit, but we're going to go into some other stuff in the beginning. But yeah, man, I'm feeling okay, but a little bit annoyed. I'm feeling okay, but a little bit annoyed. But here we are. Here we are. Talking about feeling annoyed and feeling upset. There's a bunch of people on my timeline that have been very, very upset about this random appearance. I didn't see this coming, by the way. This kind of came out the blue. But Nicki Minaj was at the Turning Points USA thing. You know Turning Points, the organization that Charlie Kirk was running before he got assassinated? They have these like conferences, these events where they have like pyrotechnics and massive LCD screens, and they have people talking on the stage about how great it is to be a Republican and have conservative values, bloody blah, blah, blah. I'm assuming most of the reason for these events is to get, people energized to vote conservative or to vote Republican. I think so. Or maybe is it a way to get new people to turn and vote Republican? I don't know. I don't really know who it's for, these events. If you they're kind of preaching to the choir, but they seem to be very well produced, very large in scale. And again, like I said, they're very much a Republican thing. Well, out of the blue, guess who appeared on stage with Erica Kirk, the de facto leader of Turning Points USA? Yeah, you guessed it, Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, for some reason, was on stage with Erica Kirk. Not because, you can vote for who you want to vote for, but I just mean in terms of what she's going to talk about. But I guess I forgot that there was a little bit of a back and forth on social media where she was expressing some views about politics and whatnot. But in general, she's not the most, I don't know. I know she has some things to say about certain social issues, but I never really thought of Nicki being overly political. If anything, Cardi B, I hear talking a lot about politics and endorsing certain politicians and candidates, but you don't really hear about Nicki Minaj doing it. So it felt like a weird time for her to like suddenly pop up and start declaring her allegiances to the Republican Party and also to appear at Turning Points USA. Like, that's a massive endorsement. And it also, with the recent things happening with Turning Points USA and the beef with Candace and Erica Kirk taking over from her husband who was killed, and this like looming kind of cloud of Zionism that kind of appears over there, it seems like a weird time to kind of pop your head up and support them. And if you also think about the Trump thing has recently, where he's kind of got a bit of a stick because of the whole Rob Reiner response and whatnot. But she did it anyway, and the only reason why I'm playing this, again, I'm not the most political person in the world, but the reason why I'm playing this is because she made a little bit of an oopsie. Nicki Minaj went on stage and did a bit of an oopsie doopsie. So I'm going to play the clip and you're going to exactly understand what I mean by oopsie doopsie, but her face when she makes the oopsie doopsie is fucking classic. What a classic, embarrassing oopsie doopsie. Oopsie doopsie. Big up Nicki Minaj, but she must feel awful about this. She must feel so bad.
And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine. Yes, we did. I love you. I love you. You have to laugh about it, truly. I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is so good, you let it roll right off your back. And this is what's so beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love this woman. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord.
Oh my gosh. an assassin like JD Vance, and she processed it. She was like, oh, like it was like a slow process of like, holy shit. I shouldn't have said that. An assassin. Oh. Yo, I love a good oopsie doopsie, man. I love a good oopsie doopsie. There's nothing I love more than an oopsie doopsie. There's nothing I love more than an oopsie doopsie. The only thing that comes close to an oopsie doopsie is when you make a joke and it falls flat. That's the only thing that can come close to an oopsie doopsie. When you make a joke and it falls flat. The other day, I was on the phone. Who was I calling? I don't know, something. Maybe my bank. I don't know who I was calling. I was on the phone to somebody, right? I was on the phone to some organization, somebody. And I was on hold for a while. You hear the little jingle playing, and then I got taken off hold. The phone operator picked up the phone, and they immediately said, "Good afternoon," blah 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 blah, wherever they work at, and it was 11:30. So when they finished their little blurb, when they said good afternoon incorrectly because it was 11:30, when they finished their little telesales thing blurb, I said to them as a joke, haha, it's not lunchtime yet, mate. You still got about half an hour. As like a joke, right? And it went quiet on his end for like 10 seconds. And he went, okay, can I have your name, please? And I just started laughing. So loudly, but he didn't laugh, by the way. He didn't even try and soothe me and say, don't worry. He just completely deaded the joke. He didn't vibe with it. He didn't like it at all. But I was like, it's not lunchtime yet. You still got half an hour. He did not find it funny at all. He let the silence sit. Then he just I don't think he even said okay. He let the silence sit for 10 seconds. Then as soon as it finished, he said, can I have your name, please? Just continued normally. I was like, wow. That's the kind of situation that Nikki did, you know? Those situations are fucking hilarious. I love them. I love a good joke falling flat, and I love a good oopsie doopsie stepping, putting your foot in it, and then end up in a situation. Because, god damn it, an assassin like JD Vance is crazy. When the person across from you, husband, was assassinated for all the world to see. Oh my god. She felt so bad, man. Her face. Oh my god. Her face. She was like, look at that. She knows she fucked up right there. She knows she fucked up. Oh, bless Nicki, man. These things happen, innit? These things happen. Bless Nicki Minaj. I have heard, though, from people on social media, they are saying that allegedly the reason why she's there is because she's trying to get her husband, pardoned. You know, her husband's got that madness with the, I think it's some R-word stuff, it's some kiddie stuff. It's a bit of a tacky thing, but allegedly she's trying to, finagle some favors by appearing on this stage and hoping he kind of can get his conviction or whatever, his sentence squashed, whatever. I don't know how you doing it. But either way, that was Nicki Minaj doing that. Next on the list, I want to mention Dave Chappelle, the Unstoppable. I need to mention Dave Chappelle, the Unstoppable. I don't usually recommend things on here because, stuff is subjective, stuff is objective, whatever it may be. And when it comes to stand-up comedy specials, I've had a really bad run lately. Most of you guys who are subscribed to my Patreon will know I've had a really bad run of watching some horrible, horrible stand-up. I do another show called The Random Show where I watch a lot of comedy and I watch a lot of horrible, horrible stand-up. Most of it is my fault because the people I follow aren't that great at comedy. But there has been a few occasions during my Random Show streams where I've kind of confessed to the audience that I'm starting to think that stand-up might be the greatest scam known to man. It might be the greatest scam second only to DJing in terms of the people at the top making it seem like it's harder than what it is. But really, it's not that hard. And really, most people that do it at the professional level are pretty shit. But Dave Chappelle's recent stand-up special on Netflix called The Unstoppable N-Word. It's available now on Netflix. Legitimately has restored my feeling, has restored my faith in stand-up comedy once again. It might be his best stand-up that I've seen of his, maybe in recent history. I think ever since he signed that deal with Netflix where he did like 6 or 8 specials in a row or whatever, this might be the best one since that run. Legit, this might be the best one since that run. It's got the perfect mix of all of the, you know, he likes to do the whole preachy, TED talky, boomer, motivational speaker type of thing that he likes to do, right? Socially conscious. It's got a right amount of that sort of stuff, but it's also got some bona fide classic, you know, classic probably in the future going forward, just jokes, great observations, great callbacks, an amazing stand-up special. I loved it for the moment I saw the lights come on. He's in an arena where he's standing in the center. You don't usually have people do that often. I know I've seen Kevin Hart do it once, but I really do like if they're performing in an arena, the idea of just standing on a stage that's really at far back doesn't really enamor me. But I think him standing in the middle of this arena like he's in the Coliseum, it looks pretty fucking cool. And I'd imagine if you watch the show live from all angles, wherever you're sitting, whether you're sitting in the nosebleeds or really close up to the front, you can see him at all angles with a clear line of sight. I really did like that. And he delivered an absolute comedic fucking masterclass. I'm not going to spoil any of the jokes. And stuff, but I would say I really enjoyed the ender. The ender that he did for this special was fucking fantastic. The stories he told were amazing. The little historical anecdotes he gave you were really good too. And what I really liked about it, if you watch the whole thing, is that at the end, there's a really cool slideshow of pictures. He does them all the time for his specials anyway, right? And this slideshow in particular, I really liked because it featured a lot of people who had kind of recently passed. And if anything, what I really liked about it, it also featured a bunch of people that he mentioned in the special. So if you were watching the special thinking, X, Y, and Z didn't really happen, he didn't meet so-and-so, blah, 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 the little film slideshow, the picture slideshow at the end, will make you eat your words and think, oh shit, he was actually telling the truth. So I really fucking recommend you watch Dave Chappelle, The Unstoppable. It's available now on Netflix. I watched it the other day on stream. I fucking enjoyed it. Obviously, I can't stream that sort of stuff on YouTube and stuff. So if you listen to this or watching this via YouTube and you want to see me react to live comedy specials next time, definitely make sure you follow my Kick channel. My Kick channel is kick.com/Agostino Zinga, kick.com/Agostino Zinga, all one word. And you'll find my channel on there and you'll be able to follow all the stuff I do when it comes to live Netflix comedy specials reactions. But I swear, this might be the best one he's done in recent years. It restored my faith in stand-up completely. I really flipping enjoyed it. And I really recommend, if you have some time, an hour or so, to check it out, then definitely do. Definitely one of the better ones. Big up Blood Clot Dave Chappelle. Big up Blood Clot Dave Chappelle. Talking about bigging up, we have to big up Timothée Chalamet. We have to big up Timothée Chalamet, and we also have to big up Esdeekid. We have to big up Timothée Chalamet, and we have to big up Esdeekid. I know that doesn't sound right, it doesn't make any sense, but let me play you this clip, and it'll make all the sense in the world.
Pull up, I've got on me straw drawn. I'm rotting them shit when I pour fours. Every time I smoke, I like 4 rolls.
Okay.
Pour pint that dirty. Timmy Tim out 30. Still sipping dirty. Still putting work in. Let's go. Got your girl Birkin. You know I'm jerking. It's Timothée Chalamet chillin', tryna stack 100 million. Girl got a billion. What the fuck? What a wonderful feeling. Hit to the ceiling, hit to the Since 2017, I'm living the dream, getting the cream. I'm living on theme, I'm doing my thing. It's Marty Supreme, it's Marty Supreme, it's Marty Supreme. Flex, now I'm flexing. Got count corp and not checking. Got model bitches and pecking. I'm Ryan Reynolds, I'm flexing. I'm having fun, just sexting. My dick is young and restless. When they say I'm too senseless, I respond like, bitch, you guessed it. My life is an opera. Look at the Oscars, look at the groupies, look at the movies. Look at the AAA girl gon' choose me. Look at my haters, man, they wanna sue me. Chillin' and coopin' the 4-door. Live on a rack.
The 4-door. I live like the king with my soldier on. 4 roars. Oh, yes, you heard it. Yes, you heard that right. That was Timothée Chalamet on a remix of 4 roars with fucking Esdeekid. Who would have absolutely guessed that? Who would have flipping guessed that would be a Timothée Chalamet and Esdeekid on the same record? If you know the law, you'd understand where this comes from. Esdeekid's an up-and-coming underground artist here in the UK from Liverpool, Scouser, Liverpudlian, and a lot of people had recently said that they think Esdeekid or Timothée Chalamet was Esdeekid in disguise, because Esdeekid covers his face with scarves and stuff and whatever else it may be, and that was a running joke. And because Timothée Chalamet is a fucking amazing marketeer and a hustler, he decided to jump on that wave. And I guess they must have spoken in behind the scenes and shit and arranged some sort of appearance, because as soon as those rumors started to pop up, he was asked questions in a couple of interviews. Hey, have you heard the rumor that you are actually Esdeekid? And he basically would keep saying, soon everything will be revealed. And I think most of us with sense knew from then on, okay, he's thinking of something with Esdeekid. But I thought it was just an appearance. I thought he was going to pop up at a live show. I thought we would have got maybe a stream. I thought we probably would have got a picture. I did not expect to hear Timothée Chalamet do a fucking verse. I did not expect him to hop on a remix and do a fucking verse that was absolutely kind of hard. I'm not going to lie. It was a kind of hard verse. And yeah, man, like, what more can we say about Timothée Chalamet? What more can we say? Like, I'm really enjoying watching him kind of navigate Hollywood. I'm really enjoying him bringing that kind of like rapper, athlete type of, mentality to acting. I really am. I know it can be a little bit cringy. I know the interviews he's given recently where he's speaking about wanting to be the best can maybe, can be a little bit cringe, a little bit lame. But I really do appreciate, I really do like that he is being very honest and forthright with his, aspirations and dreams of becoming one of the best actors of all time. Like, he's not in it just to kind of, he's not in it just to make up numbers. He's not here just to, as a workplace to clock in and clock out. He wants to leave a notable impression. He wants to be the best ever. He wants to be regarded as one of the greats. And he's going to do it. He's going to fucking do it. And I really, really enjoy it. And I think, in general, most of us anyway, myself included, it's kind of hard to believe in yourself sometimes, or to be very outright about it, to kind of to kind of be confident in your own ability. So I think there are some people out there, maybe, most people won't probably admit it, that feel a little bit uncomfortable that he's so confident that he wants to be the best. Because once he says that, it's going to immediately make you think, hey, maybe I should be doing something too. Maybe I should be, maybe I should be confident. Maybe I should be trying my best with everything that I want to do. But I think you should take it as motivation. Take it as motivation. If he can do it, why can't you? I fucking love it. And then going back to the movie, obviously him jumping on this record has nothing to do with the fucking movie Marty Supreme. That movie is about table tennis. It's set in the fucking 50s or 60s and shit. But what I love about this is that he is probably on, when they say Nick Fuentes is on a generational run, I think Timothée Chalamet is in a proper generational run. Because the amount of marketing, the amount of work he's doing for this movie is crazy. It's bordering on the level of like too much, because it's gonna build up the movies to the point where if the movie's not good, everyone's gonna be like, oh, what's the fucking point? There's a danger, right? In this approach, there's a danger he does like the Kevin Hart, The Rock thing. When Kevin Hart or The Rock are in a big Hollywood movie and they go on a crazy press tour, like John Cena does that. I forgot, there's a few of these kind of actors who, when they do big movies, they go on big world tours. It can sometimes hurt the movie because you've seen him everywhere. You finally go and see the movie, like, okay, cool, let me just go and see the movie then. You're in my face the whole time, all over my timeline. Then you go see it, you're like, fuck, this is terrible. So I'm hoping Marty Supreme is good. I have heard online from people that I've seen who have watched it that it is a really good movie. I'm hoping that's the case. But even if that isn't the case, you have to give this guy credit for the amount of work he's putting in for this movie. He's really marketing and pushing it. From the location-specific, color-coded Marty Supreme jackets, the Marty Supreme drops anyway in general, the pop-ups, the thing he's doing when he appears there with the fucking tennis ball things, the interviews, like all these little side quests. Like, oh my god, man, so fucking good. It doesn't fucking stop. And he's also appearing at like special screenings. When they do the screenings around the world, he pops up, says something. Like, I can't imagine the amount of work he's putting in, but I love to see it. I love to see it. Timothée Chalamet is fucking killing it, and I hope others also get motivated to do the same thing. And I'm interested to see, because the movie industry, entertainment industry is a very Me Too copycat industry. I'm curious to see who else in the movie industry, in the movie scene, will end up copying this? What will they end up doing in their own way? I'm curious to see how they're going to do it, because I feel like this approach to promoting a movie makes sense, especially in the era we're living with people's attention spans being short. Maybe, weirdly enough, as weird as it is, maybe, right, there are some people, like, I've seen everything that he puts out. I guess because my timeline, and I also follow a couple of, like, you know, Chalamet fucking fan accounts. But I've seen everything that has happened during this period of him promoting Marty Supreme. But there might be some people out there that the first thing they've seen of Timothée Chalamet outside of Dune might be this video with Esdeekid. That's the power, I think, of like making so much content, of trying to promote something super hard. If you do so much, not so, you know, not to obviously exhaust your fans, but you do it because you never know, someone might stumble on something that you made, like on the 5th thing you made, on the 100th thing you made. It really depends on when it pops up on their timeline. So that's why I think this approach is clever, because when it comes to movies, you just want to promote it. And sometimes promoting your movie with just a poster and a trailer, it's not compelling enough. You need different types of, you know, assets, different types of media, different types of things to put out there. So the fact that he's doing different kind of interviews, he's doing different, I won't say podcasts, but different podcasts, different appearances, he's doing the fucking side quests. These are all different clips and stuff that can be put out there and shared, and that can be keeping him in the algorithm and reminding people, oh shit, he's got a movie coming out, you know? I really like that element of it. So big up Timothée Chalamet. I fucking love it. I love his approach. And I love the confidence that he has and the belief he has in his own ability, wanting to be the best, trying to be the best. And I hope it works out for him. I really do. On the top of that, we also talk about Golf Wang. Tyler's brand Golf Wang are doing a special collaboration piece with Marty Supreme. Obviously, because Tyler, the creator, is actually in the movie as well. It's his first big acting gig. He's been saying a lot of really, really good things about his appearance and stuff. And people have said he's also acting pretty well in it as well. So who knows? We might see more of him going forward. This also follows on the news of Tyler, closing Le Fleur. So I guess Golf Wang will still be around in terms of, that's like his, you know, I'd call it your basic streetwear brand sort of thing. And then Le Fleur was mostly cut and sew, quote unquote, menswear brand. Le Fleur ends, still going to do collaborations and the fragrances, and Golf Wang will continue on doing collabs. So it's a good idea to do the Golf Wang collaboration with the movie he's working on. So like, you know, Marty Supreme themed Golf Wang clothes and shit. Here's some of the lookbook, as you can see here. You got a nice little green jacket there as well. I'm not really too mad at. A nice short sleeve shirt that features a newspaper print that has Timothée Chalamet's character all over there with the subtitle that says The Chosen One, which is kind of cool. You have a nice bowling shirt, actually, like a bowler shirt, which is really cool. That says Marty Supreme on the back, New York 1952 with the paddle illustration. That's probably one of the nicest pieces. I really like that polo. There's like a really cool sweater as well. Oh, that's kind of, I like how they did that. That's really clean on there, isn't it? With the script there, says Marty Supreme, Joe Safdie movie, New York, New York. I ain't too mad at that one. Again, the same jacket that we saw earlier, now in cream. There's also a Marty Supreme photo tee with Timothée Chalamet's Timothée Chalamet's character on the front as well. Oh, we've got a varsity jacket as well. I'm not too mad at. The varsity jacket, sort of like a Teddy Boys varsity jacket. Reminds me of the one that Hedy Semaine did for Saint Laurent back in the day. So it's got the little kind of stripes on the shoulders as well. It's a really nice jacket. I'm not going to lie. Really, really nice varsity jacket there in black with some white. You see the short sleeves top. There's also a rugby. It looks like a rugby, but it's got like a zip instead of buttons on it as well. The quarter thing going on. And it says Norkin on the front. And there's a bowling shirt. And there's the varsity jacket in red too. I'm not sure if the tartan skirt is included. I don't think it is. And there's also a snapback hat as well that I'm not too mad at. There's also like a snapback 5-panel dad hat type of thing that says The Chosen One. All the stuff is available now to purchase on Golf Wang, if I'm not mistaken. It's all available to purchase. Is any of it sold out? No. The varsity is $350. Again, not too shabby for a varsity. The varsity is $350. All wool varsity, front end, cowskin, shoulder stripes, trim double welt pockets, features front and back chain stitch embroidery. Yeah, you can't be mad at that, man. You can't be mad at that varsity jacket. It says, what does it say? It says Rockwell at the back, right? So it says Rockwell. I think it says Rockwell at the back. I'm not mad at that. Yeah, Rockwell ink at the back. That's pretty cool. And you got the Rockwell logo. You got the nice stripes as well on the sleeve. Decent embroidery everywhere, which I love as well, by the way. Embroidery everywhere, which I absolutely adore, because that's going to last a lot longer. Embroidery everywhere. No screen print on the entire hoodie. On the entire varsity jacket, sorry. There's that quarter zip that I talked about as a rugby. What exactly? Okay. Oh, it's a pullover. Okay, cool. It's a Norkin quarter zip pullover. That's also one of my favorite pieces. That's also really, really good looking as well. It's got like a, I guess what do you call it? An off-white body with red sleeves, red waistband, elasticated waistband, red collar. I guess you call it ivory body with red. I like that as well. That ain't too shabby. You also got the snapback hat that I mentioned. Regular snapback. Oh, I'm not a fan of this snapback, you know. If I want a snapback hat, I want it to be a regular plastic snapback. I don't like the snapbacks that have this, they have the kind of cotton material as a strap, because these things don't stay on as long, you know. They kind of loosen over time and they just look a bit naff. I just want a plastic closure there. But hey, there you have it. You also got the Marty Supreme photo tee. You can't go wrong on. Yeah, man, I ain't too mad at that. I ain't too mad at that at all. So big up flipping Timothée Chalamet and Tyler the Creator. A decent little collection there. Oh, there's also that short sleeve. That's available, right? Yeah, what's that? Newspaper rayon button up. That is pretty nice, man. All button features artwork and Marty Supreme woven black label features. Yeah, what's it called? Oh, really? Pearlescent golf buttons. Let me see the buttons. Are they pearl? That's pretty cool. Not mad at that in the slightest. Where the pearl button? You can't really see it there, but yeah, I guess there's a pearl button right there. Nice little detail. Nice little detail. You can't go wrong. Big up Marty Supreme. Big up Blood Clot Marty Supreme. Talking about not going wrong. Talk about not going wrong. Let's talk about this. Have you guys heard about Drake collaborating with fucking Chrome Hearts on a Nocta jacket? This is fucking insane. So Drake previewed something on the Instagram stories that Over and Under, thank you Lord Almighty, Over and Under is always there to screenshot things. Over and Under posted that he previewed a collaboration that he's doing with Chrome Hearts. So it's a Chrome Hearts Nocta, which is Drake's Nike subsidiary sportswear line. And also, I guess, with Nike, right? Well, I guess Nocta is actually his sportswear brand, and then he collaborates with Nike doing it. But I don't think, is it under Nike or is it his own thing? No, I think it's with Nike. I'm not gonna lie, I think it's with Nike. I'm pretty sure Nocta's with Nike only. I don't think he produces Nike on his own. He produces OVO by himself, right, in terms of clothing, but Nocta is done in collaboration with Nike. So it technically is a three-way collaboration. It's Chrome Hearts, Nocta, and Nike. And they made a down jacket, right? Your classic Nupsy style down jacket. And the details are pretty crazy. I didn't notice this at first, but if you look up close, you'll notice that it's a Realtree camo, print on the down jacket. And if you zoom in on the camo, you'll notice that it's a Chrome Hearts Realtree camo. You know how Realtree camo is in trend now? Everyone's wearing Realtree camo this, Realtree camo that. They've made their own iteration, their own interpretation of Realtree camo, and they've incorporated the Chrome Hearts cross all over that Realtree camo. Some of it you can see it's really obvious, some of it you can't, it's really small. But that's a really clever idea, isn't it? Instead of just doing the basic bitch fucking camo, they decided to do their own version. I really, really like that. I think that looks really fucking cool. Now, the problem is with this, the problem would be, how much do you think this will be? That's not the problem with it, because it's a lovely jacket. It's got heavy reinforced zips. It's got the fucking Chrome Hearts zipper. The down looks really plump and bouncy and shit. The jacket itself doesn't look all overly bubbly. The print on the Realtree looks really well done. If it's including Chrome Hearts, how much would that be? What do you think? I'll tell you. According to the internet, this particular jacket, I'm not sure how much they're making or whatever, but I've heard them say that it's going to be 30 grand, which is a real shame, because it means that, I'm going to have to save up a couple of weeks to get it. But they're saying it could be anywhere between $30,000 to $40,000, which is crazy. But of course, if you know anything about Chrome Hearts, you'll know that's like, that's one of some of their standard prices. But that is a crazy amount of money to pay for a coat, isn't it? 30 grand for like a real tree camo down jacket. It's pretty nuts. Now, what I would have preferred, what I thought would have been sick, is if they did this and produced it at the same price point as what Drake does with Nocta anyway. Like, imagine if they just decided to do that. That would be so cool. Like, getting Nocta or getting fucking Chrome Hearts in the hands of people who maybe couldn't afford to buy the legit stuff or don't have access to it. That'd be a really good way to kind of democratize, you know, something like Chrome Hearts. And considering that Drake is a big fan of Virgil and always kind of pays tribute to him, it would be a really good way to even honor Virgil's legacy, because Virgil was very big on like taking highbrow stuff and kind of bringing it to the masses, right? The high and was it the overground and the underground sort of thing he used to talk about. That'd have been a really cool idea if they did that. I don't know if that is true. If it's going to be 30 to 40, maybe it will just end up going to fans or to people in general. I don't know. But if it's the case that this is just only going to be available to the richest people, it will only get seeded to the coolest of people, only the select few have access to it, that's a little bit lame, you know? Don't honey dick me. Don't show me something I can't buy in any way, shape or form. At least let the normal folks be able to purchase it too. But who knows? We might find out some more information as it goes on. There's some more pictures too I want to show you of the jacket itself up close. You've got some up close pictures there. This is from a girl that reviewed it, who I'm going to play the video of hers as well soon. But you can see here the detail. You've got the zip, right? You've got the classic Chrome Hearts cross, or the classic Chrome Hearts sword, the sword fucking dagger zip thing. You've got the Chrome Hearts, you know, signature with the 3 crosses here on the chest. As a bit of branding, you look at the fucking camo. You got the Chrome Hearts crosses all over here. You got a really heavy reinforced zip as well for extra protection, which I really fucking love. Just a really, really nice jacket. Really well fucking done. Oh, it also comes with a shirt. So it's a full collection. There's a full collection of jackets and also a shirt. There's also a shirt this girl's previewing that also features the real tree camo print. And it also features a screen printed logo on the collar as well of the shirt. But yeah, I ain't mad at it, man. I ain't mad at it at all. That looks pretty cool. I ain't mad at it one bit. Another angle of the jacket too. Here's another angle from the top down so you can see it. Classic camo, again, real tree camo, done in a Chrome Heart style, which is a fucking classic thing to see, to be honest. As you look down in the jacket with the 3 crosses too, not too flipping shabby. And then of course, here's the video from this content creator called, what's her name? Athena Mascudi. I just want to see the whole thing actually. Let me see if I can find the whole thing. Athena Mascudi. I'm curious to see. Big up Over and Under. But I'm curious to see what that looks like. Someone called Athena Mascudi. Oh, there she is. She's on TikTok. So let's see. I want to see a whole video. Oh, is it on there? Nope, it's not on there. Is it on here? Maybe it's here. Let's see. I want to see the whole video. Okay, we don't have the whole video, unfortunately. Where's not the whole video? Show us the whole video. Where is she? Okay, she showed it on TikTok, but I guess it's not available in here. I can't find it. Something went wrong. Where's your TikTok, girl? Okay, cool. I guess we can't find it. I guess we can't find it. Okay, cool. Let's go in this video.
Puffer Nike collab. And I think it's a Drake collab too. It's so cute. It has the Nike tags on the inside. 3 black patches.
If I'm gonna be picky, I think the tag is a bit cheap. The normal woven tag is a little bit cheap, you know? I would expect it a little bit better. Maybe like a little maybe like a leather tag, like a rectangle, like a little rectangle tag made of leather that's sewed on the back. That would have been pretty cool. But it's a regular woven hang tag is a bit cheap.
And it says on the back. Puffer.
So again, I don't know if this is true about the 30-40 grand thing, because why would they send this to this girl if it's 30-40 grand? Doesn't make sense. I think this might be available for everyone to purchase, you know. I think this might be like a regular Nocta piece. That would be pretty cool if true. But I think this might be a regular Nocta piece, because why would they send this to this girl? Again, I'm not really too familiar with influencers and stuff, but she doesn't seem like she's that plugged in when it comes to streetwear. She just seems like a regular hot girl you see on IG. So I think the only reason why she'd get this is because she's just a regular girl that gets seeded shit. But I don't think this is a special 40 grand jacket, because if it was, you would send it to, you know, higher caliber influencers, right? Or whatever else it may be. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Let's see another. Is there another video here? There might be another video too.
Got the crew neck too.
Oh, the
Got
crew
the
neck.
screen print on the
Oh, it's a crew neck jumper. It's not a long sleeve. Wow, I love that.
back. Floral sleeves. Nike logo. Got the crew neck too. Got the screen print on the back.
I'm not gonna lie, sitting from here, from where I am, the quality of that crew looks good. The quality of that crew neck looks good.
Floral
Ranglan sleeves as well, if I can see that. I think that might be Ranglan sleeves.
sleeves.
Yeah, I ain't mad at that. Yeah, Ranglan sleeves. I ain't mad at this sweater. That sweater is hard. I ain't mad at that at all. That sweater is hard as F.
Had to get the hoodie too.
Oh, there's a hoodie. There's a pullover hoodie. Okay, I'm a bit pissed off because it's got the silver rings. I hate pullover hoodies that have the little silver rings on the drawstrings. I always remove them. But there's a pullover hoodie too.
Same idea with the hood. We got the silver.
Oh, look at the detail. Okay, cool. So I'm assuming most likely on the rings of that little, on the rings that, you know, hold the strings, there's probably some sort of chrome hearts embroidery or embossing there. Engraving, sorry. And I'm assuming if you zoom into the zips, probably there's some detail there too, right? Yeah, there's some detail there too. Chrome hearts detailing as well on the end of on the tips of the drawstrings of the hood. Wow, not mad at that at all.
Silver thing. Screen print on the bar.
Yeah, lucky girl,
Like this one's
lucky girl. What a package, bro. What a package. The t-shirt too, the whole shebang.
really oversized. Has the screen print on the back and the Nike on the neck.
Fucking hell. Yeah, she's balling. Well done to her, man. Really, really cool. She got the whole fucking package. I don't mind that at all. Big up her, man. So yeah, there we have it. Drake and Nocta and Nike. Well, Drake, well, Nocta, Nike, Chrome Hearts. Chrome Hearts, Nocta, Nike. Coming very, 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 very soon. No idea when. No idea how much. I have heard 30 to 40 grand. That's what I've heard. But hopefully that's not true. Hopefully that's not true. So we can all have a chance to purchase it. That's the hope. That's the fucking hope. Talking about hope. Have you guys heard that the Nike Air Max 95 Neons are coming out again? Now available to everybody. They're going to be available next year, March 5th. They're going to be available once again. I'm assuming they're going to be dropping everywhere. This is a video from JD Sports promoting them. So I'm assuming they're going to be available everywhere to purchase, but they look absolutely beautiful. Like, I had a lot of things to say about the improved bubble size for the 2025 Air Max 95s and onwards. Nike went back to the archives and they basically redone the 95 from the ground up to make it more akin to the vintage pairs, which I fucking love. And one thing they did to really kind of give it a vintage kind of feel was that they made the bubbles on the Air Max 95s looks bigger. If you don't know, when NS95s originally came out, the bubbles are huge. I remember seeing guys around my area because when I grew up, Air Max 95s were like the drug dealer shoe of choice. Like if you were like older and you were, you know, on the roads, whatever else it may be, they used to wear Air Max 95s. That's actually the thing to think about back then. Back in the day, I used to remember some of the olders in my area or some of the olders in my ends, the ones that are, you know, selling the stuff and doing the crimes, they would wear as a fancy outfit to go out, right? To go out to a club or whatever, or just hang about. They would wear Avrex jackets. Under the Avrex jackets, they'd have on Armani Exchange button-ups. They'd have Iceberg History sweaters. They'd have like, you know, Versace jump, whatever, anything underneath, right? They'd have like straight jeans and they'd always wear Air Max 95s. And the reason was because back in the day, you know, and still till now, Air Max 95s was super expensive. I don't know. Like back then, they were probably like, I don't know, 150 pounds, 160 pounds, which normal kids who are wearing Air Force Ones and Dunks all the time, it's astronomical. But back then as well, the bubbles on the Air Max 95s were really big. And I think they made an error in that the size of the bubbles was too big because people reported that when they would wear the Air Max 95s a lot, the bubble would burst. It would pop. And obviously there was a lot of quality control issues with that. So Nike went back to a drawing board and they basically reduced the PSI, the air inside the bubbles, and they made them smaller so that people wouldn't pop them as often. But then it kind of ruined the look of the Air Max 95 because they kind of wanted to be bigger. So Nike went back to a drawing board and decided to make the bubbles bigger again. And now all 95s going forward will have this bigger bubble. So the bubble looks really bigger, and they've also redone the shape of the overall shoe. So it looks more akin to when it originally came out in 95. I personally think this shape is the best shape. And obviously the bubble size makes it really stand out. Really love this new Air Max 95 shape. And obviously the neon colorway is a classic colorway. All sneakerheads love it. All sneakerheads know this is like, you know, it's like an iconic colorway, like the Air Max 90 infrared, like the 97, the silver ones and shit, like an Air Force One white on white. There's just a classic color in Air Max 95. And I'm sure a bunch of people, myself included, are going to be super excited when these drop. Take off the music. There we go. The guy's turning them around, showing you what they look like and shit. The shape is brilliant, man. The shape is brilliant. The colors pop really well. You can see the size of the bubble and how much bigger they are compared to the regular 95s from back in the day. I love how they made the bubbles bigger on all across the board, actually. All the bubbles from the heel all the way to the forefoot have been increased in size. You get the classic Air Max 95 Air Max box from back in the day too. This is the box they used to use in the 90s. If you're around back then, you will know. This is the OG box they used to use back in the day in the 90s. So that's pretty cool as well. You got, again, classic kind of colorway with the gray gradient, neon accents. You can't go wrong, really. You really can't go wrong. Like, legitimately, you can't go wrong. There's literally nothing wrong with that shoe. That's like a perfect shoe. I think I've always said, I think 95s, especially in the neon, are definitely in my top 5 shoes of all time. I'm not going to lie. Such a perfect shoe. Absolutely brilliant. Can't wait for them to drop. Can't wait for them to drop. And then here's a picture somebody uploaded, big up Over and Under, showing the progression of retros. So in recent years, we had the retro. Actually, that 2018 was one I didn't know. I did get that one. Yeah, I got that one. I didn't get the 2020. And then I didn't get and I'm going to get the 2025. So I had the 2028, the 2018. The 2018 was decent, but the problem with the 2018 was that the toe box was really low. I think with the 2025, you can kind of see, it's hard to tell, but you can kind of see here that the toe box is a little bit more bulbous and higher. Still flat, but bulbous and higher. Whereas I think on the 2018 is a lot more narrower. I remember it was really hurting my toes when I got a pair back in the day. And don't get me wrong, I had them in a US 10 or UK 10. That might be the reason. I should have probably got them in 11. But still, even without the insole and stuff, the toe was banging. I had to end up selling them. One of my most regrettable sales, one of my most regrettable sales of recent history. I definitely regret selling the 2018 pair of neons that I had. I should have kept them, but they were really hurting my feet. I didn't end up getting the 2020s. I completely skipped that again because they're super thin. As you can see here, they're super thin around the front of the toe box. And obviously I didn't like the bubble shape as well. But this 2020-25 version looks absolutely incredible. It legitimately looks like a picture you'd see from an old vintage scan of a Nike archive magazine or something. They look so fucking good. So fucking good. Can't wait to purchase them when they come out. I'm assuming they'll be readily available. If the JD Sports account is fucking promoting them, I'm sure they'll be available in JD Sports and everything else in between. So these will be probably easy to get. No, there'll be a lot of places selling these. I'm not sure they'll be easy to get, but a lot of places selling these. But when I do purchase them, I'm definitely going to double up. I'm for sure going to double up on a pair of these because these will definitely get worn every single day. Such a good shoe, man. Such a good shoe. Continuing on with the neons, we've also got this update cursor Over and Under regarding a pair of Lego Air Max 95 neons. So Nike collaborated with Lego for a special 95 neon that, you know, looks kind of Lego-ish with the illustrations here on the side. You can see here, right? With a little sketch they've done here. The uppers are also made out of patent leather to make it appear like a toy, right? A bit more plasticky looking. Oh, sorry, the whole thing is actually plastic looking. Or plastic material, not even plastic. It's patent leather. But I don't like him, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really liking the illustrative side box thing. If anything, they look kind of fake. That's the issue I have with these Lego 95s. I quite like that tongue though. I ain't mad at that tongue. I ain't mad at the fucking Lego logo on the tongue. That Lego logo on the tongue is kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie. That Lego logo on the tongue is kind of hard, but I don't think it's hard enough to purchase. And they've also got thicker laces and shit. They look way more bulbous. That's it. They look way more bulbous. And towards the back of the heel, you've also got these cool little Lego sort of illustrations here that also look like they're playing with each other. One's got a cup, one's got a ball heading. And if you look up, actually, this is actually the coolest bit here. At the top of the heel, where you see the Nike swoosh and also the Nike Text Right logo here, They replaced the Nike text with just the, you know, the outline of a Lego brick. That's a really clever idea. Really fucking clever. They replaced that with the outline of a Lego brick right there. I think that's a really clever touch. I don't mind that at all. But overall, they look a little bit naff. I'm not going to lie. They look a little bit naff. They're meant to be coming out March 28th. And they're going to be priced at £132. And they're also going to be available for kids, which makes sense. Which makes sense. They're also going to be available for kids. But not for me. I'd rather stick with the classic Air Max 95 personally. But a nice little addition anyway. We've also got this news courtesy of Over and Under regarding a pair of Chase B, which is Travis Scott's DJ. Travis Scott Jordan 1 CJ1 T-Rex. I'm kind of surprised this particular shoe hasn't necessarily captured everyone's imagination. I really like it. It's kind of a Travis's like take on like a Agassi. It's a take on the Air Trainer 1. And I'm surprised it didn't hit. I always thought this shoe would be a really good CrossFit shoe. I think when they originally dropped, I was going to buy a pair. I think this would be a really good CrossFit, cross-training gym shoe in general. I think it works really fucking well. But for some reason, people don't really like these. I see people clamoring way more for the classic, you know, Travis Scott, fucking Jordan 1s low, Jordan 1 highs that he always does with fucking Nike. But this new model that he built from the ground, because I'm sure this is a new model. I don't think I've ever seen a GR colorway of this particular shoe. Maybe it might come somewhere down the line. But this is a whole new model he's kind of built from the ground up. And no one seems to give a fuck. Even though they've got these sick colorways like this. This one that Chase B did. That's full of grays and blacks and stuff. Has this, what I think is a glow-in-the-dark gum sole. Like, fucking amazing. Like, this neon green glow-in-the-dark gum sole. You got these really cool, what's the materials there? You got this, I forgot what that material is called. Is it python or elephant? I forgot one of the little dots. You got different materials here on the toe box. You got some mesh here on the, or different materials around the mud guard. You got the mesh toe box. You got the backward swoosh, which is a classic staple of Travis Scott shoes. And then, of course, you got this slime green, this neon green outsole. You know, that kind of looks like it might be glow in the dark, you know? And then, obviously, underneath the shoe, you've got Jack written on one and then Chase B on the other, on the outsole, which isn't too bad. And obviously, a custom box also. But, yeah, I'm surprised these haven't taken off, man. I'm not going to lie. I'm surprised they haven't taken off. No one seems to really fuck with these shoes, but I really like them. I really fucking like that shoe. I really flipping like it. Big up Chase B, big up Travis Scott. Not sure when they're gonna come out actually. When are they due to come out? Is there a date on these to come out? Let's see. Is there a date? When did they drop? Oh, did they drop? Maybe they drop. Okay, no, they're available now in launches. Is that available or gone? Okay, it's done already. So they launched the other day on the 15th actually. They launched on the 15th. Pretty decent shoe, man. Jordan collaboration with Travis Scott. Again, it reminds me of an Air Trainer 1, the classic Air Trainer 1, which is a classic, cross-training shoe anyway. But yeah, for some reason, people are not really oh yeah, the outsole does glow in the dark, as you can see there. The slime green outsole does actually glow in the dark. I ain't too mad at that at all. I ain't too mad at that one bit whatsoever. So yeah, big up them for that one. Big up them for that one. Also, continuing on, we've got this news courtesy of Over and Under regarding a Central C and Nike Air Force One collaboration for his brand Signer. So, he's done a lot of collaborations already with Nike. He's just kind of, putting in the work when it comes to that sort of stuff. But I guess he has an Air Force One coming out, which is kind of interesting because, I don't know. I don't really think of him as an Air Force One guy. I think of him maybe as an Air Max. I don't know why I picture in my head I've seen him wear Air Max more often. So I wonder why he decided to, or why maybe Nike offered him an Air Force One to collab with first. I think he already done the Air Max, didn't he? Yeah, he did. He did the Air Max with JD Sports. That kind of JD Sports, or that one that launched in JD Sports anyway. That one that's kind of like bronzy looking. That was a really nice Air Max 90 actually. Proper nice Air Max 95, but that one's gone. So I guess the next model is Air Force One. And to be fair to him anyway, the kind of kids in my ends who wear Nike Tech fleeces, right? The kind of young kids who will probably look at Central C like he's their Drake and shit, right? They idolize him. Those kids that wear Nike Tech suits and shit, they usually wear their Tech suits with Air Force Ones anyway, That's what they usually do. I'm not going to lie. I don't really see a lot of them wearing their Tech suits with Jordans. They're usually wearing them with Air Force Ones. They're usually wearing them with Asics. They usually are wearing them with maybe a New Balance or maybe a cheeky Christian Dior sneaker. So it does make some sense, It does make some sense. But yeah, pretty decent shoe. It looks like it's all patent leather. It's got a mix of grey and black. So grey, black on the mudguard, black on the heel, white swoosh, and then you got a grey toe box, grey side panels, black midsole, and a grey outsole. So a pretty decent mix up, a pretty decent color mix up. You're probably not going to see that as a GR anytime soon. Nike don't usually make decent fucking patent Air Force Ones anyway. Thinking of it now, I wonder if this colorway is inspired by Bapesters, because he did do a recent collaboration with Bape anyway. I wonder if he tried to make his own version of them, because the laces also look a little bit thicker as well. I wonder if that's what he kind of doubts inspiration, because it's an interesting color choice, the gray and the black. But either way, decent enough Air Force One. No idea when they're coming out. Okay, coming out spring 2026. Is that a matching tracksuit? No, that's a Chelsea tracksuit, isn't it? It's a Chelsea tracksuit, but I think there might be a matching tracksuit, which is this one here they're wearing. That might be the photo shoot they did earlier, where they're standing with Cole Palmer and some of his friends. I think that might be it. He's also got a Chelsea chain thing. Okay, cool. I think this might be the matching tracksuit as well that he's wearing, the grey one. It's got the signer logo on the side there as well. So yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see when that drops. I guess we'll have to wait and see about that when it eventually drops. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Talking about wait and see, let's also check out ASAP Bari's new shoes. ASAP Bari debuted these new shoes. I think he might have debuted them during Art Basel, I'm assuming. But let me say one thing. They look pretty shit. I'm not gonna lie, they look pretty shit. It's the same shoe that he debuted a few weeks back, I think, or months back. The lower part, which kind of looks like a mix of like a Balenciaga and something else, maybe like a Acne sneaker. I don't know. It just looks like stuff. But he's got that same midsole that you know and love of his shoe, and he's got this this like fur, hairy, whatever upper that's going on there, which I'm assuming might be inspired by he was wearing those sandals in it at some point. I don't know who they're by, if they're by Miu Miu, if they're by Kenzo, but he was, I remember him wearing a pair of shoes that had a lot of fur and a lot of whatever on the upper, so I wonder if that's the inspiration. Either way, I don't think they really work on that particular shoe, to be honest. Maybe it's the angle, maybe you need more pictures, maybe I need to see them put on first, but I don't really like what I'm seeing here with this fur. It kind of looks like eclectic for the point of being eclectic, but doesn't actually look objectively good, you know? So I'm not really the biggest fan of those. Here's a closer picture of them so you can see Wagwan. Again, you got a standard midsole and outsole shit with the thick sole. But then you've also got on the upper, it full of complete, you know, fur and hair and shit. But what they've done is that he's left a little, you know, one little eyelet free at the top. So if you want to lace it up, if you want to tie it, you can, you know, that kind of vibe. And I'm assuming this part here at the top is probably the tongue. That's probably how it works, isn't it? Like that. It probably works like that. All the way like that. All the way like that. So yeah. Big up ASAP Bari. No idea when these are coming out. Courtesy of Over and Under. It says the first look at ASAP Bari's new Various Zero with a fur upper. So let me actually see what the Various Zero, if there's any other colorway, because I'm curious to know if the other colorways make the shoe look better or if it just looks crap because the shoe is crap. Let's see. Let's go on images. Okay, cool. So this is the colorways that I remember. It comes in a blue. It comes in this neon green. That reminds me of some John Geiger shoes that I have. Again, very Acne, very kind of, you know, Balenciaga inspired, I think, in terms of the shoe and what it looks like. I'm not going to lie. So that's it there, right? Yeah. That's it right there. That's the model. Which I get, you know. He's inspired by a lot of designer shoes that he wears anyway himself. But it does look a little bit uninspired. I'm not going to lie. Looks a tad bit uninspired, that shoe. But yeah, I don't mind this all mesh kind of toe boxing going on here with no mudguard whatsoever. I'm not really too mad at that one. But the upper looks a bit mad, I'm not going to lie, especially with the patent bits and whatnot. It looks a little bit cheap. Although it probably isn't, probably costs an arm and a leg to make. But yeah, it looks a bit all over the place, I think, in that regard. But let's see what he does going forward. Let's see what he does going forward. Let's see. Big up the ice cream. Big up Ice Cream. Pharrell's, I guess, subsidiary of Billionaire Boys Club. Ice Cream was more so the skate team, the skateboarding line. Obviously, it's not really what it used to be now that Pharrell's, you know, not what he used to be and Ego's not involved, Skating's not involved. But they have done one great thing. They have decided to retro and bring back the fucking board flip. So this is Over and Under detailing a person called Sneaker Den who decided to compare the retros of the board flips that came out this year and the OGs that came out long time ago. So let's hear what the key differences are according to this guy called Sneaker Den. Sneaker Den says the key difference is ice cream board flip OG v the retro. The new toe cap is much flatter, lowering rise than the OG, which had a very rounded, bulky toe. That's a great improvement. The new tongue is much wider, bigger than the OGs, less padded. Material feels more leathery. I don't mind that either. Eye stay significantly wider than the OGs, which makes the quarter panel move slick. Cones and Bones logo on the heel is placed more in the lateral side than the back. Okay. Ice cream logo on the tongue and heel tab has been updated with pink outline instead of baby blue and ice cream in one line. Yeah, I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at all. So let's see the pictures. So as you can see, the OG is the left pair. The OG is the left pair, and the retro that just came out is the right pair. So as you can see here, the wider eye stay, the nicer toe box, that's less kind of competitive and shit. I really love it, honestly. I really love these. These are really fucking nice. I love the color. I remember when these board flips dropped, they're really hard to get off even here. So yeah, I really like this. I really like this. As you can tell, look at the improvement of shape. Look at how bulbous and unnecessarily big the OGs used to be. And then here's the fucking retros, and they look super flat. Really nice looking and shit. I really like them. I really flipping like them. I think they're already sold out now, if I'm not mistaken. You got to see it. Ice cream in the back. Ice cream all on word. Yeah, I ain't afraid of it. I'm not afraid of this role whatsoever and what they're doing. Big up, big up, big up, big up ice cream. Big up ice cream going forward. Big up ice cream going forward. One brand I don't want to big up is Bape. I think Bape should just cancel and give up now. Bape have decided to drop these, I don't know what they are. They're one of their shoes that they make that covered also in fair or, you know, bare material essentially. And they look pretty terrible, I'm not going to lie, you know. They look pretty terrible. They really flipping do. Most kids, you know, when they're popping at home, they quickly say something to their parents, whatever, have a little chat. These guys are running right upstairs because they know the kicks that they're wearing are fucking awful. These kicks this guy got on are so fucking bad. I hate them, I hate them, I hate them, I hate them, I hate them. Really do fucking hate them. But they keep getting collabed on. People keep wanna buying them. I'm not really to understand why. I don't really understand why. Moving on, we also got this clip that features the intense look at the new Central C and UGG collaboration. So Central C is collaborating with UGG, courtesy of his brand called Signer. He made essentially a low mule slipper type of a crug that has like a, you know, a really small fan base, but they're gonna go crazy, you know. It kind of is what it is with this regard. So I kind of like these. I quite like these. I'm not a big UGG guy. If I was to wear an UGG, I'd probably wear the classic UGGs in the same way that allegedly Australian surfers used to wear them, with like their jeans tucked in them and shit, with shorts and shit. I quite like those, to be fair. I'm not mad at them, but these clog slipper type of things, not for me. Maybe I might have to see them in person to check them out. Not for me, but if I had to, then of course, you know, the first thing I'm gonna get is a flipping, is a pair in black or something. But yeah, they look really cool, man. Big up Central C. He's not removing his fucking foot from their necks. He's putting out some really great products. I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at it at all. I ain't mad at it at all. Also, continuing on, this happened a while back ago, but I thought I'd mention anyway. Nike put out some Chanel inspired Air Force Ones. Now, if you're wondering, what the fuck are Nike making Chanel inspired Air Force Ones? Nike are making Chanel inspired Air Force Ones only because Vans a few months ago or a few weeks ago decided to make a pair of Vans called, if I'm not mistaken, what's the name of it? Souvenir. A pair of Souvenir Vans that takes on the old school shape. The Vans old school, by the way, is a very underrated shape in Vans. I feel like they get underutilized. Obviously not so much now because that's Sakatoshi Nakamoto, whatever brand, makes a lot of collabs. But I think the old school doesn't get enough hype. I think they need to bring back the chucker, by the way. Vans need to bring back the chucker and start giving people collaborations on the fucking chucker. Please, for the love of God, I really miss the chucker. I really fucking miss the chucker. But yeah, Nike did a collaboration on this pair of shoes, which is the Vans old school, and they decided to do this Chanel bag inspired colorway. This, I think, is inspired by a bag that was designed for I think the 94, 95 Chanel show, back when Karl Lagerfeld was still alive. And that bag has now become like a grail for fashion folks. Don't ask me why in particular it has. I'm not too sure why. But that particular bag has definitely become a grail. There's loads of fakes of it as well. People just love that shoe. So Vans did a really cool job of sort of taking the themes, taking the fucking vibe or whatever of that bag and imbuing it on the shoes. That's the bag as well, in case you're wondering. That's the bag. It's like a little messenger bag that fucking Nike took inspiration from. Converse Vans took inspiration from and obviously applied it onto the shoe. Now, Nike, for some reason, saw this and wanted to copycat it. But unfortunately, I don't think the execution is that great. I don't think the execution on this particular Nike Air Force One that's clearly inspired by the same flipping shoe, right? Clearly inspired by the same flipping shoe. I don't personally think they did a good job there. I really don't. I really don't think they did a good job when it comes to the inspiration of that shoe. I really don't, you know? I personally think the Vans one is far better. They did a very good job on the Vans one. The Vans one also captured everyone's imagination. It sold out in fucking minutes. People are going crazy for them. So much so they brought out other pairs as well. But yeah, I don't think the Air Force One kind of matches the vibe of the Vans one at all. But they're still here anyway, right? You got the same upper. You got the same idea with the upper, the canvas upper with stains and shit all over it. You've got a nice little detail on the swoosh with the extra stitch swoosh around it. You got really cool, colorful, bright thread laces, which I'm not mad at all in the slightest. You got heel tab, of course, with the screen printed logo there. Watch out for that one. And then obviously some more pictures of the shoes lining side to side. So it's mostly like a khaki, olive green, distressed sort of number on the upper. And then for the midsole and outsole, it's complete black. Like speckled black though. It looks like it's covered in speckles, or is that paint? Is that meant to be like faux paint? That might be faux. I don't know. I think it's speckles. I think it's little speckles anyway on the fucking outsole to kind of make them not look so blocky and shit. But I really don't mind them personally. But I think compared to the Vans souvenir one, I don't think they hold a candle to them at all. I don't think the Air Force One hold a candle to the Vans pair at all. But I could be wrong. I could be blood clot wrong. Talking about being wrong. Let's talk a little bit about Cortez. Cortez actually decided to release and launch something as I was streaming, a collaboration they did with Denim Tears. So it's a Denim Tears capsule collection, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And there's also some other bits and pieces too that are not Denim Tears related. So they've dropped Denim Tears stuff, Denim Tears collab, and also other bits that aren't Denim Tears related. So let's start with the Denim Tears pieces. You have got your classic Alcatraz logo surrounded by the cotton reef, which I think is a really nice touch. You've got that is that a pullover hoodie or a zip up hoodie? You've got a zip up hoodie set. So you've got a zip up hoodie set that features the Alcatraz logo with the cotton reef. And then of course you got the sweatpants as well. And then the sweatpants, unfortunately for me, look like they've got an elasticated hem, which I usually hate, to be fair. I don't like elasticated hems. I want my hems to be flat. And then give me a drawstring on the side. So if I want to make my shit tight, you know what I mean? I can do so. If I want to make them loose and shit and cover my shoes, I can do that too. But, you know, good luck trying to convince a woman of that sort of thing, you know what I mean? But regardless, really nice little sweatsuit there. Not mad at that at all. Nice little piece from the collaboration between Cortez and Denim Tears. There's also a varsity jacket, which might be the best piece of the little capsule collection I've seen so far. It features what I'm going to assume is a Black Panther on the back of the jacket, right? Which is a really cool iconography. Again, if you know, relating it back to Denim Tears and the brand or whatever else it may be. There's an illustration of a Black Panther on the back. On the top, you got Cortez, and on the bottom, it says Denim Tears. So Cortez, Denim Tears on the back. And then, of course, you got the Pan-African flag inspired elasticated waistband colors here as well. Maybe someone look at that and think it's Gucci, but I think it's a Pan-African flag inspired, which is a nice little touch as well. So that varsity jacket is kind of crazy. The leather on the sleeves as well looks really high quality and soft. You got a nice felt whatever body, elasticated waistband and cuffs. Again, I'm not mad at that. Proper streetwear shit, by the way. Cortez is a proper streetwear brand, and that is proper streetwear shit. I love that. There's also the same track suit that I mentioned before in black, available in heather gray. Again, another classic another classic streetwear piece. Heavy grey sweatsuits, heavy grey hoodies. One thing I also love about Cortez and what they do, if I'm not mistaken, I think the pant pockets are zipped. Yeah, see? Because a lot of people, myself included, love to wear a good sweatpant. They're really comfy and shit. And for some reason, I don't know why, but when I wear sweatpants, I've always happened to have like a million things in my possession, like a million items. So I think it's really cool that Cortez makes sweatpants and they add a zip, you know, a little invisible zip here that you can put your stuff in and be safe in the knowledge that you got your stuff in, it's not going to fall out, no one's going to pickpocket you. I think that's a really cool idea. You don't really see a lot of sweatpants, you know, regular sweatpants that have zip up pockets. It's not really a thing. I really love the addition of the zip up pockets on most of the sweatpants that they make. Nice little detail. I ain't mad at it in the slightest. And then of course you've got a Denim Tears Cortez t-shirts too. Once again inspired by the Pan-African flag and also a classic kind of Cortez graphic. And then we've got a couple more bits as well here. There's a denim set, right? There's a denim jean set as well that I'm not mad at. I think this is it Tom Ford? I think this crest, I think this little crest here, it reminds me kind of Tom Ford. I think Tom Ford had a particular sort of a crest or signature like that. Maybe when he was designing for Gucci, I'm not too sure why, but or sure where. But I think that reminds me of the Tom Ford thing. But still, nice regardless. There's DT on one pocket and Cortez on another. Great wash as well on the jean jacket. I wonder if this is made in house with Denim Tears or it's made someone else. I don't know. But the jeans are proper good. They're proper good, and of course the wash on the jeans themselves on the jacket is great. Also on the jeans, they're kind of giving me like, I don't know. What are they kind of giving me vibes? They're kind of giving me like a True Religion vibe, maybe with the wash. You know, if you give these contrasting stitching, they'll be fucking True Religion straight away. So they kind of give me True Religion vibe, but they're a bit more baggy at the bottom. But yeah, I ain't mad at that. There's also a red zip up hoodie with the same Alcatraz logo and cotton reef, you know, pattern all over the place. There's also another sweatsuit. This might be my favorite, by the way, mostly because it has the straight hems, no elasticated shit at the bottom there. This might be my favorite. And the design features a Cortez. What's that? Oh, Cortez. I love that. I just noticed that, by the way. I just noticed the Cortez. So combining their names together, that's really fucking cool. And again, the colors inspired by the Pan-African flag. You got one side green, one side red. Again, not mad at in the slightest. Not mad at in the slightest. And then you've also got is that a long sleeve shirt? I bet it's just a classic long sleeve shirt. I don't think there's anything crazy about that. It's just a classic long sleeve. Oh no. Oh, it's a thermal top. It's a little waffle thermal thing. That ain't too mad as well, especially for the cold months over here in fucking London. One's in black with the Alcatraz logo with the cotton reef. Again, you know, taking on a flip on the cotton reef logo. And then there's also one in a white ivory type of a color, which I'm assuming it will be a bitch to kind of keep that shit clean. I'm not going to lie. A couple more pieces here before we move on. And it also features, this is not in line with the Denim Tears collab, I don't think. I don't think this jacket is a Denim Tears collab, but I want it. I fucking want this jacket. It's a nice puffy grey camo down jacket with a hood. And it also kind of looks like it might be, you know, stormproof and all that other malarkey because of the zip up pockets. The elite work, I think, might be his version of Gore-Tex and shit technology that he uses on these jackets. But yeah, this looks fucking fire. The fucking zip pulleys on the hood to squeeze them tighter. There's chest pocket so you can put your hands in your pockets like you're a fucking bad man. I like obviously the Alcatraz logo there as well. Ain't too shabby. Yeah, this is really good, man. I also love the little detail on the zips too. I wonder why he did that on the zip strings. There's little red detail there. That's a nice little detail. I'm not sure what that's about, but there you have it. And yeah, great camo jacket. I ain't too mad at it. Also comes with matching pants. Like, honestly. Supreme, Stussy, and fucking Cortez. That's all you need. That's all you need in your wardrobe. If you're a streetwear fiend like I am, that's all you fucking need. Supreme, Cortez, and fucking Stussy in your wardrobe, and you are set. You are covered. It also comes in black. The black is nice as well, don't get me wrong. But I think if you're going to get a jacket like this, you might as well go all the way and get the grey camo, you know? You can probably get a black jacket like this somewhere else. But I think that grey camo is fucking, it's calling my name. That shit's cool. That whole set is calling my name. I'm not gonna lie. That whole set is calling my name. I love it. I love it. I love it. And then they say, okay, it's gonna be available on Christmas Day, according to Cortez on their Twitter. It's gonna be available on Christmas Day. The Cortez and Denim Tears collaboration. So great to hear. Great to see. Great to hear. Great to see. Great to hear. Great to see. Talking about something that's great to see, big up this user called RF Kenmore on Twitter, called RF Kenmore. His caption says, quote unquote, new from Sporty and Rich. And it features this image taken from Sporty and Rich's Instagram that features Sporty and Rich's new, soon to come, pullover, quarter zip, well, no, pullover jumpers, right? The quarter zip ones or the quarter button one, the ones that you know and love. But instead of you thinking this might be your classic pullover quarter zip that's like from Patagonia, if you zoom in closer, you'll see, although it looks like a Patagonia fleece, it's actually a Sporty and Rich copy. A Sporty and Rich copy of a Patagonia fleece. It's so shameless. It's so utterly shameless. It's exactly the same. Don't get me wrong. The shoe itself, the styling is really good. I'm not gonna lie. The styling for the little picture is really fucking good. This girl's wearing some really cool cycling glasses, running glasses. She's got the pullover and it's really bright or kind of like washed out mustard yellow type of thing going on with navy blue accents. The Sporty and Rich logo, is it embroidered? Don't be cheap. It's not screen printed, right? Yeah, the Sporty and Rich logo is embroidered on the chest pocket, just above the pocket there. She's carrying a really big backpack with a rolled up sleeping bag, different boots and gloves. So the shoe itself with a really good pair of jeans with a good wash. The shoe itself is really good, but it is kind of crazy to just take what Patagonia do and just add your own logo. You don't do that, man. That shape, that style is too iconic. Patagonia do too many great things for the environment and sustainability in general. That's one brand you shouldn't be copying from, you know? Not this unapologetically. Obviously, here's another image that might have inspired some of the stuff that, you know, that she did. Maybe this advert here with Ami Leondor, which came out a while back with their collaboration that they did with New Balance, where they made these they did their own version of this hiking boot that New Balance brought out back in the day, which again reminds me of a lot of ACG stuff that I used to wear as well. So that's, I'm not too shy of that. And then if you go on the Instagram, I actually wanted to see what other people said. On the Instagram, there's more images of this like this as well. There's more stuff like this on the Instagram. So as you can see here, you got another one as well, another picture too showing you the actual pullover, which I'm not mad at as well. Because I think in the past, one of the things I used to hate about Sporty and Rich was that they'd have these lookbooks, right? These really extravagant, really well-styled, well-shot lookbooks. And the model would be wearing this amazing outfit. Maybe it's styled by themselves or styled by a stylist. And it'd be one thing that they're wearing was Sporty and Rich. Sporty and Rich were known for doing a lot of that vibe lookbook stuff. You know, get the model to wear their own shit, really cool shit, and then maybe give them a Sporty and Rich hat to wear. Maybe give them a t-shirt to wear. So you're looking at this amazing look. You're thinking, oh shit, Sporty and Rich are about to get into the world of like proper fashion. And then when you come into it, it's like, no, I'm not. I'm just, you know, I just like the t-shirt kind of vibe, you know? So that always made me laugh. But yeah, just taking that, you know, and not giving no mind is a bit crazy. It says it inspired by the outdoors. I bet you were inspired by the outdoors. From the 80s to the polar fleece jacket is super cozy and a must-have for older months, or for colder months, sorry, older months or colder months. That's one picture. There's also another picture that features a kind of a navy blue looking one, again with the big scarf and shit, trying to prove, hey, look at me, I'm outside. But yeah, I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad at the lookbook. I ain't mad at the jumper. I just think the plagiarism is a bit crazy though, you know? You got to come with your own fresh ideas. Like, why not make your own interpretation of that Patagonia fleece? You know? I know the Patagonia fleece is a fucking iconic. I know there's fucking iconic. I get it. I get Patagonia fleece are iconic. But surely, if you're a fashion designer and you've got your own brand, wouldn't you want to make your own version of that fleece? Huh? Because yes, it's iconic. Yes, everyone wants to copy it. But I think people don't because of how iconic it is. You should be able to make your own version of this, surely. You should be able to make your own version of this classic fucking pullover. You really should be. It's actually called, what's it called? The actual real name for it is a lightweight Cincilla top. Cincilla snap fleece pullover. That's a classic colorway, Cincilla snap. But yeah, it's not, you know what I mean? Come on, man. Got to see more from these brands. You got to see more from these brands. But I guess that's not the case. I guess that's not the fucking case. Talk about not being the case, by the way. I do always love to rip into fucking Palace. But I have to give them credit. Even though this collection's been and gone, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, it launched in December 20th in Japan only. Although this has already been long and gone, I have to give Palace some credit for this collaboration. This might be the best collaboration I've seen of them this year. This is collaboration with Palace and North Face Purple Label. North Face Purple Label is North Face's Japan only brand, Japan only label that makes a lot of streetwear things. Not just outside, not just the standard things that you know from North Face, but they make more streetwear, casual, sportswear inspired type of pieces, the full head to toe. So I really like this collaboration because, you know, it's hard to get fucking Purple Label stuff in Europe anyway, and they tend to not make it in European sizes for the most part. But if you can get a hold of something, you're gonna be in for a treat because the Purple Label stuff is unmatched. It's so fucking good, man. It's so fucking great. What do you got here? You got a down jacket here. Looks like a Noopsy. You got a t-shirt featured here, and you've also got maybe a mountain jacket with some pants. So it's a full collection. You've got t-shirts. You got bomber down jackets as well. I think that's the same jacket, by the way. I think that's the same jacket, but you know, in two different colors, one front and back, and the other one in the gray and whatever color that may be there. There's also that jacket too on the left. I don't know the name of it exactly. Without the Supreme logo, it's hard to name these fucking jackets. There's also a matching pair of pants. Another jacket too, I don't know the name of when it comes to regular North Face stuff. Also with matching pants, olive green, which is freaking great jackets overall. And of course you got the rest of the stuff as well, like Palace and North Face pullover hoodies. This is actually quite cool because usually if they do a collaboration with somebody, they'll usually change the text and the Palace Trifeg logo, but in this particular one they just opted to have like a North Face logo at the front and have the Palace logo at the back. You know, kind of classic sort of flip in that regard, and also a good way to kind of make sure the spotlight is always on them at all times. Matching t-shirts will be hilarious. And there'll be definitely some on there that's gonna do the prank. But imagine. But I do like these have flaps, the hats with the flaps. Unfortunately, I can't talk to them because most of them are minors, and you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. Everyone's got the right to do what they want to do. But yeah, I'm not mad at the hats as well. I ain't mad at the hats as well. There's also a pair of matching gloves. It also comes with a backpack and a side bag. So yeah, I don't mind it collaboration whatsoever. Like I said, I thought it would make me look better, but I think it doesn't. You know, unfortunately, this is how these things go. So let's actually check this out. Actually, I'm curious to see what's going on here, but let's actually check this out. Where is it? Is it available? No, it's not there. No, it isn't here. Oh, where is it? I don't know where it is. But anyway, let's continue. We've also got this news courtesy of the Oscars. Big up the Oscars. The Oscars have announced information regarding 2029. So a bit ahead of time. All right, it's a bit crazy, but still, hang in there with me. The title says the Academy partners with YouTube for an exclusive global rights to showcase or to show the Oscars and other Academy content starting in 2029. So you're going to be able to watch the Oscars on YouTube, which I think is a welcome change. Obviously for myself, selfishly, I'd love to stream the Oscars and shit and react to it in real time. But I think as just a regular customer, a regular punter, this is really good because I don't even know. If I wanted to watch the Oscars legitimately, I don't know where I'd watch it. I don't know if I have to press Sky News and then press Red. I don't know what I have to do. I don't know where it is in my book or whatever. It's a job title or whatever, where it says you have to kind of do this. But I really like this idea. Again, it's going to open it up to people. It's going to allow people to watch it in real time. Because I don't think people do watch it in real time. They just hear the results the next day and keep it moving, or see the clips and keep it moving. It doesn't have to go as far as them deciding to get fucking iShow Speed to present the show awards. I don't think that's necessary, but it is necessary to kind of take this award show where the numbers and the viewerships have been dwindling and bring it to a platform where everybody's on, and everyone's on YouTube. Everyone's fucking on YouTube, so you got to bring the audience there and then hope and pray, that it kind of works out. But I think it will. I honestly do think I don't see how this can fail. The article from the Oscars site says as follows. The Accordion Motion Picture Arts Sciences and YouTube signed a multi-year deal that will give YouTube the exclusive global rights for the Oscars beginning in 2029, and the 101st Oscar ceremony and running available in multi-languages. The partnership will also include a worldwide access for film fans and other Academy events and programs exclusively on the Oscars YouTube channel. This will include the Governor's Awards, the Oscar nominations, the announcements, the Oscar nominees luncheons, and the Student Academy Awards. In addition to these, the holistic partnership Google Arts Cultural Center will help provide digital access to select Academy museum exhibitions and programs and help to digitize components of the Academy collection. Oh, I like that. Okay. The largest film-related collection of the world with more than 52 million items. I wonder what they paid for this. We are thrilled to enter a multifaceted global partnership with YouTube and the future home of the Oscars, said Academy CEO Bill Kramer. Academy President Lynette Howe-Taylor said, the Academy is an international organization. Its partnership will allow us to expand access of the work to the Academy to the largest worldwide audience possible. This will be beneficial for our Academy members and the film community. The collaboration will leverage YouTube's vast reach and infuse the Oscars and the other Academy programming with innovative opportunities to engage while honoring our legacy. We'll be able to celebrate cinema and inspire a new generation of filmmakers and provide them with access of a film history of an unprecedented global scale. So you get it. The Oscars will be available to stream on YouTube starting 2029. I'm happy for the creators, happy for the viewers. I'm also wondering if this will actually help with the actual creation of movies, because now that everyone can see that, now everyone's going to be able to see when you do or when you don't win an Oscar. I wonder if it will inspire directors, actors and stuff to put their best foot forward, because they know the whole show is going to be televised around the world on YouTube. I wonder if it'll have one of those unintended consequences of people going extra hard on it. I'm not too sure. I'll be waiting, eager to see. Talking about being eager. Let's get in some podcast news. So, the other day, New Rory Mall made the announcement. The announcement was made that a bunch of podcasts that are signed to Volume, that are also under the umbrella of iHeartMedia, were moving exclusively to Netflix. Netflix is really throwing the money around. Q4, they're going crazy. They've started up this Netflix podcast division. No, actually, it's a Netflix video podcast division. They already had a podcast division previously, but now it's going to be video podcasts, where they've signed a bunch of popping pods that are going to be only available to watch exclusively the video format, like this episode now of the New Rory Moore show that's on the screen. This will now only be available to watch on Netflix. So if you want to watch the full video, it'll be available on Netflix. But if you want to listen to it, of course, the audio will hang around. Now, a lot of people had some bad things to say about the deal. I personally, if you had to ask me, obviously you're going to miss out on a lot of the numbers and the metrics because Netflix doesn't give you that. And also the reach on YouTube is far, far bigger than Netflix reach when it comes to that sort of stuff as well. But when it comes to New Rory Mall, really and truly, you're probably going to consume most of their content in clips anyway. That's what I'd say. I'd say only the hardcore fans like myself are going to sit down and watch a whole video episode. But I think if you're going to try to get new fans, if you new audiences, new people to sign up to Netflix or whatever else it may be, I think the approach they're doing is good, because it's going to be behind a paywall, which will mean they're going to be paid some money for it. I know some people are doubting the fact, but I did think they did get paid to license the show over to fucking Netflix, or at least had a say in it, right? If they didn't get paid extra money for it, I think they at least had a say in a meeting. I don't think they found out about the deal in the press like we did. And I think they won't lose anything in totality, because the clips that'll be shared on social media pointing back to people to go and watch the full episode on, Netflix will still be available on social media. So you'll still get the gist of what they're saying in certain episodes and funny moments they've had and shit. And if you want to argue in the comments, you can still do it. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, all in all. I'm not going to lie. And also, I think it's Netflix too. It's not some obscure streaming platform. A lot of people around the world have Netflix. So I think the people that do have Netflix, and I'm sure there are some people out there that exist that don't like to jump around on platform to platform. I do like to do that. I like to watch things on Amazon Prime Video. I like to watch stuff on Hulu. I like to watch stuff on Netflix, watch stuff on YouTube, Apple TV. I go all over the place. But some people don't. So for the people that just like to turn on Netflix and play whatever's there, now they'll be super happy because they can just play their favorite podcast on there too. So this is Rory and Moore announcing some more detail about the deal on the beginning of the recent episode.
We're back here on that one, but yeah, I don't watch my work. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that.
Yeah. Well, while we're here, we will officially be on Netflix come January. We'll have more information about that after holidays. But
Rory, they said we only had 6 months, Rory. They told us we only had 6 months 10 times. 60 months in, bro. Come on, man. We 60 months in, baby.
Oh, Maul on that type of time today. I see what type of episode this would be.
For sure.
I'm talking my shit.
Yeah, we'll have some more information on exactly when that will be starting once, we come back January 5th.
For all those that said we wouldn't be here, die slower.
Jesus.
You the one that actually be writing from Drake's account.
Yeah, I DM'd.
You DM'd, bro.
Yeah.
Which we'll get
I said, Drake, let me send this one.
Which we'll get to. I did see a lot of the business side of Twitter, podcast business side of Twitter, which I don't mind because I'm a nerd when it comes to behind the scenes business stuff too. So I'm never mad when the listeners speculate with all that. But I'd never heard more people fucking wrong and strong and loud about what our Netflix deal is.
What they were saying?
iHeart made the decision we didn't even know.
Huh?
They said that we had no choice. iHeart just put us there.
Oh, y'all be on that part of Twitter.
We don't. Yeah.
I don't go that far.
We dealt directly with Netflix. We had the decision whether we want to do it or not. We negotiated. It's our deal. Shout out to Volume. Shout out to their partnership with iHeart. Shout out to everyone. But nah, that's our deal.
You still own your IP, right?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
There's never been a time.
It's never been a time I didn't.
Well, no, I mean when the Saudis buy Netflix, they'll own America's IP.
Y'all can get that IP up.
Kiss the wall. We may have to kiss the wall at that point.
Oh no, we definitely doing the hands thing.
Yeah.
So that's the basic premise. So there is an argument. There has been some debate out there, some conjecture that they didn't get paid extra for it. I don't think so. I think any move in the corporate media world, any type of adjustment, anything, you're going to get compensated for, especially if you've got decent representation, managers, agents and shit. They're going to make sure you get some money in your pocket. You don't just move from uploading stuff on YouTube to uploading it on fucking Netflix and there not be some money involved in it. So they're going to have some money involved in it. I'm pretty sure. You don't have those logos they have here, right? You don't have these logos in the top screen. Oh, sorry, you don't have these logos, Hard Rock, BET and Volume on the corner of your fucking pod if you're not kind of plugged in and tapped in with people that are going to make sure your money's good. But again, like I think from a viewer's point of view, it's a bit disappointing not to be able to watch the full episodes on YouTube anymore. But like I said, if you listen to the pod, you can still listen to it anywhere on audio if you want to. And if you got Netflix, you can watch the whole thing. If you want to just react to what they have to say online, you're still going to probably get the clips because they're probably going to want to share clips on social to try to acquire new users. That's the point, right? These deals are done in the hopes of acquiring new users to jump onto and subscribe and sign up to and pay a subscription for fucking Netflix. So I think they can still do that by putting out the same clips that they do, allowing that to kind of point back to fucking Netflix and go from there. And from what it sounds like a licensing deal. The same type of deal that Joe Rogan did when he first went to Spotify, which is great. Licensing deal was great because you don't have to sell, give away your IP. You essentially allow the streaming platform to host your podcast for a set amount of time. They pay you a crazy absorbent fee for it. You get to kind of get the fee. You also get the exposure. That, by the way, being on Netflix I'd imagine would be a pretty big deal for people in the media industry world to have that name brand association. It could open some other doors to other business opportunities and stuff going forward. So I think it's a good idea. Because they're settled and stabled. It's not as if their podcast is going to die the next day. I think they've got a decent enough audience. They tour really well. They sell a lot of tickets. They're the one hip hop podcast in that kind of hip hop podcast / urban space that I enjoy listening to because it's not rah. They don't really get into the messy stuff. They don't get into the shade room stuff. They don't get into the relationship stuff. They just talk about news concerning hip hop artists. They usually deep dive into music and other bits and bobs. So I think because of that, they kind of stand out. So I think they're going to be fine regardless. So congrats to them on the Netflix deal and big up Rory for the clarification. Then there's another update, a really interesting update. By the way, before I continue, big up also Sunken Cathedral over there on the Kick side. Big up Sunken Cathedral on the Kick chat. I guess some of you don't know, I have set up a Kick channel where I am streaming directly onto Kick. So anytime I stream on YouTube, I'm also streaming on Kick. I'm doing a bit of dual streaming. So if you want to listen and check out my stuff that I do over there on Kick, make sure you go to kick.com/Agostino You can kind of follow the channel on there. I think I'll probably enable subscriptions on there as well, and maybe start doing some Kick only streams going forward, because that is a pretty decent platform to watch a bunch of shit, not get copyright strikes and shit and taken down. So I might flip in between the both. But big up everybody that's in the Kick chat as well, and big up everybody that's in this chat as well. Actually, before I continue, let me shout some of you guys out. Sorry for ignoring you. Big up Jordan Ray, big up Don Dotter. Appreciate you. Big up Don Dotter. Let me know when Golden Hour After Hour pod goes on Netflix. It's not happening ever. Big up the Jordan Ray. Marlon AZ could be cousins. I rebuke that in Jesus' name, by the way. I rebuke that in Jesus' name. Big up Jordan Ray. Talking about me and Mal could be cousins, right? I don't think so, because I don't think I'm built that way. But have you guys seen, actually, before we continue with that one, have you guys seen all the drama that's been going on with Moore on the fucking timeline? This is kind of heartbreaking, I'm not gonna lie. Big up Moore, because I like him, but he's been getting trolled mercilessly because of this one particular picture. A fan pulled up to Moore somewhere when he was out and about and took a picture with him, and unfortunately I think it's the angle. I think it's more so the angle. I think it's the angle. The angle caught him off guard and he looks fucking horrendous. I really feel bad for Moore. But Moore's getting absolutely destroyed out there on social media and on the Reddit because of how he looks in this particular picture. Let me show you the picture now on the screen. Big up Moore. Big up Blood Clot Moore. I'm a big fan of yours, but this is a bad picture, unfortunately. This girl caught you slipping. So Moore was out and about somewhere and he bumped into a young lady, a fan of the pod. She asked for a picture, and that's the picture that you see there on the screen. And Moore looks, let's say, very rotund, very round. I think people were saying they were very surprised about how round he was, and also they're very surprised by how short he is, because this young lady doesn't look too tall, and she's towering over Moore. Don't get me wrong, she's got a little bit of a heel on, right? She's got a little bit of a heel on with those boots, but she's kind of towering over my guy Moore. So you can see where her chin is. Look where her chin is, his mouth is, but people are really going in on how round he looks and stuff, you know? And I don't think it's any surprise that the roundness of how he looks has also impacted him, because I think I heard the other day that he mentioned he went to the gym. But I think people are teasing him more because he's meant to be a vegan. He always talks about being a vegan. He doesn't eat meat. It's not healthy. But, you know, he's a vegan, but he's very, very large, which is kind of funny. But if you know anything about vegan food, you'll know you can easily get very, very fatty, very unhealthy vegan food. There's always vegan alterations of things that aren't necessarily nutritious or anything. They just, you know, don't contain meat and stuff, but they're still as fatty as anything else that you would buy, like a fried food or whatnot. So it's no surprise that he's going to be big. But I think a lot of people out there have this misconception that people that are vegans are going to be skinny. I don't think that's the case. You have to really kind of, you know, be on top of your diet. I guess more in this respect isn't. And he's getting absolutely destroyed out there. Absolutely destroyed. Some of the comments on the Reddit are also kind of mean. Not kinda, really fucking mean. I'll scroll through some of the comments on the Reddit of that post. One person says, why does he look so short and chubby? Another person says, he's built like a professional 8th grader. They say Moore is built like a professional 8th grader. Another person says, he built like a rent office lady. This nigga looks like a lesbian. Young MAL. young MA lesbian is fucking hilarious. He looks like young MA. That build is crazy. Why is he so bad built as a vegan? How can you get gluttonous vegan? You eating all the leaves, N-word? He says probably a carb vegan. Hella bread and potatoes. This motherfucker eats potato sandwiches. Potato sandwiches is fucking crazy work. Soda drinker body. Y'all cooking more in the comments. Nigga look like a fake ass Fred the Godson. By the way, RIP Fred the Godson. Legendary rapper. How tall is this nigga? Or is it up just tall? He's built like Flip. Was this picture manipulated? He looks like a boneless chicken wing. Oh my god. Somebody calculated actually in the stream chat. Somebody calculated in the Reddit comments and said about the height of 5 12-inch LPs. Record stands are 4 inches off the ground and has about 2 inches above that. Maul is 5'6" and needs help getting stuff off the top shelf. Rah. I didn't know he was that short. I don't know why he was. I guess maybe because he's got a, no pause needed. But I guess because he's got a big voice. You know, he talks a lot about hip hop, and he's been on a popular show like Joe Budden and shit. Friends with Drake. You probably think of him having an outsized presence, but in real life, he looks kind of short. I guess he's 5'6" in real life. 5'6". Crazy. Little Terrio head ass. Damn, he really a stud in real life, bro. Really do look like Jason Whitlock. Nigga built like a Rosie O'Donnell. He be talking like he gets hoes. He built like Wendell Pierce. Oh, I love the internet. You gotta love and hate the internet at the same time. You gotta love and hate the internet. God bless fucking more from the new Morium Raw podcast. Let's continue. Let's talk about this news. This is kind of crazy, by the way. This is really kind of crazy, very interesting too. So, according to Glock Topics, big up Glock Topics, this is the alleged Hot 97 talent replacement list. So, as you guys know, a bunch of people from Hot 97 got fired recently. Most notably, Ebro in the Morning host, which is Ebro, Laura Stiles, and Paul Rosenberg, Peter Rosenberg, however you say his fucking name. All those three got released. Or got, you know, let go from their contracts and shit, and the contracts won't get renewed, and a few other people as well that weren't really in the news. I forgot who they were exactly. Don't hold me to it because I'm not that familiar with New York radio. But a bunch of hosts on Hot 97 were told that their services are no longer needed. Now it seems like Hot 97 want to revamp all the shows. Obviously, have new hosts. And so far, we've not got an announcement on who the new host will be for the morning show, which I think is the marquee show, I think, for Hot 97. The morning commute, the morning drive, a lot of money behind it, blah, 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 blah. So they got a list together of the people that they would be thinking about to hire. And it's kind of an interesting list. There's a few people on here I don't really recognize, but the list is really interesting because it features somebody called Zeddy Will. It features Heineken and Esso, who you would know from Bag Fuel. They were also ex-co-host of Matt Hoffa's podcast. There's a guy called Armin Wiggins who I like. He's a guy that does live streams on YouTube, actually. He's kind of familiar and friends with Maligo Gams, who does Mob Radio. He basically does like a video streaming version of like Shade Room, essentially, talking about kind of hip-hop gossip type of stuff. Just him solo, like I am, talking to a camera. So that's a pretty sick look that he's been considered for such an illustrious job doing that. There's a person called Roxy Romero, who I'm not familiar with. Gay P, I'm not familiar with. And obviously Rory Moore from the new Rory Moore podcast. Now, that list is pretty sick. That's a pretty sick list of people because I think it is a really good list because it's a different type of ages and different demographics and different audiences that will come there. Most of all, they've all got the energy necessary to kind of really take that job by the handle. Maybe the only people that say that are quote unquote older would be Heineken and Esso, but I still think them as a duo will do a really good job doing the morning show. Now, the only issue would be, for me, looking at that list, all of these people for the most part are like self-made. They're doing pretty well on their own. Whether they're getting money just from AdSense on YouTube, whether they're getting money from their podcast deals and stuff, they're doing pretty well doing stuff the way that they want to do stuff. And one of the great joys of doing stuff that like I'm doing, especially if you're doing it at the professional level, especially if you're doing it to the point where you're making money enough to support yourself, is that you can kind of dictate your own hours. You're in control of when you work, when you work, how you work, you know? And you don't really, you know, you can obviously do stuff at a set time all the time if you want to. There's plenty of streamers who stream Monday to Friday, 9 to fucking 5 p.m. if you want to. But for the most part, you can be flexible and do whatever you need to do. And obviously, you can do it all from the comfort of your home. Now, I'm wondering aloud, would it be kind of difficult if you are those people on this list to suddenly start working for Hot 97? Because that is a proper 9 to 5. It's like a job. Especially for somebody that's been out of work for a while, you've been doing your own thing, to suddenly start working a shift which would require you to wake up quite early in the morning. Because if I'm not mistaken, I did do a little bit of a Google and I found out that the morning show Hot 97, the hours are somewhere within the range of like 6 a.m. to 10 or 11 a.m. Those are the hours, 6 to 11, 6 to 12, whatever, right? So it's kind of half the day, morning kind of show. So you'll probably, depending on where you live in New York, you'll probably have to wake up at like 4 a.m. in the morning. You probably have to wake up at 4 in the morning. Or maybe earlier, I'm not too sure, but let's say 4 in the morning to wake up, Monday to Friday, 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. That's going to be a lot for the person that's doing stuff on their own. That's going to be a big adjustment. And the other reason why it's going to be a lot as well, the compensation packet, according to this leaked memo, isn't that great either, I don't think, for people that are doing stuff on their own. Because if you zoom in here, you'll see that Hot 97 are offering those guests that they have on that shortlist anywhere from 150,000 to 1 million. That's who they're offering. They're offering the person on that list anywhere from 150,000 to $1 million per year to do that shift. I just don't think it would make sense for the people on that list to do this job for that. Even with all the clout it could give you, right? It's also a brand new experience. You can learn a new skill. You get to interview artists and shit, and just be on radio in general. Must be a really good feeling if you're somebody that grew up on radio, especially in a place like New York and whatever else it may be. But it would be difficult for a lot of these guys if they're making $1 million at least a year, or maybe more, $1 million plus more than a year, doing their little YouTube show, to suddenly then give that up to work a 9 to 5 basically, Monday to Friday, for less money than you're making because you're working less days. I wonder if they're really going to do it, because the list here is, and the interesting thing too is the compensation package breakdown. So different people have different rates. So I guess this gay P person is probably more well known and has more clout. So he's been offered 500 grand for himself. The bag fuel guys are getting 250 each, allegedly. That's what they've been spec'd out in terms of compensation package. The media prints 150,000. And then the other people on the list, you see here, they have Typeset Brooklyn, TSB. They want to offer that person 150. Zeddy Will, 350 grand. Rondell Smith, 100 grand. Lana Harris, 100 grand. NWO Sparrow, 150. Armin Wiggins, 250, which is great, by the way. I'm not gonna lie. Thinking. No, being aware, if you're Armin Wiggins and you're aware now that a company like Hot 97 has looked at you and kept you in mind, for 150 grand, I'd be happy, I'd be happy that you got a valuation. You get what I mean? That's how they value you. That's a pretty cool. Ray, Hot 97, I guess that's in-house, 200 grand. Rory or Moore, they're going to offer 1 mil. I'm guessing they'll split that between them. And then Trent Simeone, or Simeon from iHeart, 850. This person probably is big. And a person called Roxy Romero, 150. So this is a confidential document. When I initially saw it, it did look kind of fake. I'm not going to lie. I wasn't all the way convinced this was even real. It looks a little bit fake. But allegedly, that is the list of people that Hot 97 is considering to take over from Ebro in the morning show. And that's the compensation packages that they've got for them. I personally think Rory and Moore won't do it. It's too much work for them. Especially both of them anyway, not even just Moore. They don't really do that much research for their own podcast. So to have to do a morning show where you're going to have to do prep, and ad reads and shit, and I don't know, I doubt, and like call-ins, I doubt they're gonna do it. I really doubt that Rory and Moore will be up for doing the fucking Hot 97 gig. I did hear another rumor that allegedly Joe Budden was in discussion to do the gig too, but again, he's somebody that knows his worth, knows his value, always talking about being independent and how much it will cost for him to kind of give that independence up, or just to kind of do his, go doing something else that isn't just his own thing. I think they have to really make him an offer you can't refuse to take that job. He might do it because, I remember him saying before in the past, Joe Budden, that he always loved radio and wanted to be a radio presenter back in the day. I think he worked at Hot 97 as well back in the day being a host. So he knows how to how to work in that area. So I'm sure he would be up for doing it if the money was good enough, but I don't think, MediaCo, Hot 97 have the money to kind of price someone like a Joe Budden off there. I did hear another rumor, which I really like, is Miro from the Deeds and Miro show back in the day, right? Allegedly Miro has been offered the job as well, which I think would be great. He probably needs a good team around him, but still Miro would be fucking so funny, so good. He's literally the textbook definition of a New Yorker. He'll be fucking amazing if they did it. It would be better if Jesus and Miro were still friends and they did it together. I think that'd be legendary, but unfortunately they fell out and they now do their own thing separately and shit. But those are the names that have been linked to the Hot 97 job. So it seems like a job that's in demand, or it seems like a job that a lot of people would want. But unfortunately, the names that Hot 97 want, the names that they think would give the show like that kind of kick up the arse, that fresh new look, unfortunately, those names are also doing their own thing. Those people are also got their own platforms and shit. They got their own shows that they're making good money on. So it's gonna really, really cost a lot of money to prize those people away from those shows. It really fucking is. But let's see. Maybe they're gonna do it. Maybe they're gonna do it. The one thing that I didn't like about this whole drama about Hot 97, this conversation around this whole thing, the one thing that I did not enjoy was this stuff. big up 2 Quarter Blog. They posted these screenshots taken from Funk Flex and Joe Budden's Instagram stories. Hot 97 early in the week announced 3 new hosts that they've signed to their radio show. Now, these 3 hosts, who I don't know who they are, the names, please forgive me, guys, but I don't think these guys are taking over the morning show. This is just extra hosts to kind of for the numbers, for the bodies, right? And they all 3 of these guys look fairly young. There's 1 girl and 2 guys that they announced. They look fairly young and shit, but they look like fresh faces. I've not seen them before. The only thing I didn't like about this picture in general was that it didn't look like they had any budget for hair and makeup, right? The guy on the right does look like he got trimmed. The left looks a bit rough. The girl in the middle, her hair looks like it's got stuff in it. Like they could have gave them some hair and makeup budget so that when you're stepping out and you're being announced as one of the new hosts for Hot 97, you have your best picture out there. Do you know what I mean? But I guess Hot 97 with the whole cockroaches and shit, they maybe not got that much money. Regardless about that, it's just good that they got new talent right there to kind of spruce up the place. Because that was one of the reasons why a lot of people were kind of dancing on Ebro's grave, because he's old and he's stuck in his ways and he's been there for too long. So now that they've got some new blood, it's all good, isn't it? Well, not according to Joe Budden and Hot 90 and Funk Flex. Joe Budden took the picture, put it on his stories and said, not even doing this with them today, LOL. So kind of laughing at these new hosts. And then Funk Flex did the same thing too in the comment section, right? The laughing face emoji in the comment section down below. Now, I don't like this personally because a lot of people online were screaming for new talent. We're talking about how, you know, as like a sidebar of like dissing Ebro and laughing at him and dancing on his grave because he got fired from Hot 97 because, you know, they just wanted to have a change. People were also saying, oh shit, it's good he got let go because Hot 97 needs some new fresh blood, new young blood, new presenters, So Hot 97 listens to that, right? Partly goes out and hires 3 new kids to kind of take over and fill in some of the slots of other hosts who are left, not the morning show, others hosts. And people are out here clowning them, taking the piss out of them. It's like, you wanted new people, right? You wanted new fresh talent. This is what fresh talent is. You might not recognize them, you might not know what their names are, but they're gonna go there and hopefully make a name for themselves. That's the whole point. They might end up being the next, you know, Laura Stiles, the next fucking Ebros, the next fucking Rosenbergs. But you have to give them a chance because they're fucking new and no one fucking knows them. So I didn't really like that kind of, you know, little response and whatever from Joe Budden and fucking Funk Flex. And weirdly enough, this kind of leads on perfectly to the next story about Chalamet signing a $200 million deal with iHeartMedia, both for his, if I'm not mistaken, for his Black Effect podcast network and also for his deal with Breakfast Club. So that means he'll be in Breakfast Club for a while because iHeartMedia owns Breakfast Club and shit. So I will say this to say, previous screen, you had a picture of Joe Budden mocking and laughing at Hot 97, and maybe, you know, I guess I also think are laughing at these guys because he doesn't recognize them and saying, oh, who the fuck are these nobodies, right, that they're hiring. And then you got Chalamet on here on the main big Forbes website with a fucking cover. I think he's on the cover of Forbes magazine. He's got this massive fucking interview that he did in the magazine, also a video interview they did with them, and he got a $200 million deal. I think this is how you get $200 million deal. You don't get $200 million deals by doing what Joe Budden done here in the stories. You get $200 deals, unfortunately, if you're Joe Budden, for playing the game. And one person you could say who's played the game perfectly is Chalamet. From the way his skin looks, remember how blotty his skin used to look, right? He's fixed up his skin with a dermatologist. He went from sniffing seats of, if females would go to Breakfast Club, especially attractive ones, and they'd interview on there, when they left, he'd smell their seats. He'd make inappropriate jokes. He'd make some people cry sometimes. Very kind of shock jockey ways and whatever else it may be. He's gone through all of that mess to now being a real established, proper, well-respected businessman to the point where he's able to secure a $200 million deal for his network and for himself, I'm assuming, and his role over there on fucking Breakfast Club. I think this might be one of the greatest rebrands in media history. From the way he started with fucking, what's his name? With that fucking lady, right? That Wendy Williams. Starting from Wendy Williams, right? Famously, Dame Dash said Wendy Williams is his OG, that's true. Getting it start from Wendy Williams to come from here is fucking phenomenal. So big up fucking Chalamet. That's an amazing deal, an amazing fucking accomplishment. It came out of the blue because people like Tasha K and a few other people in media were saying that he was going to get let go and wouldn't be on the Breakfast Club anymore. And he kept quiet, which is what I would do. What I would do, you never fucking clear up or respond to rumors online, and you let the work do the talking. Instead of responding and clapping back to people saying you're going to get let go from Breakfast Club, putting axe emojis in his chat and his fucking comments, he just let the fucking record reflect. The magazine comes out, everyone finds out you're doing 200 mil. And another thing that I also like about him, to be fair to Charlemagne, he gets a lot of stick, but I think one thing that I like about this, being a fellow black person, I love the fact that he disclosed the money. Because I'm sure he didn't need to. You could just announce he signed this deal with iHeartMedia. But I love how they disclose that it's a $200 million deal. Because that lets everybody know what kind of, what level of business he's playing at. And it also gives up and coming, aspiring media personalities, content creators, public figures, whatever you are out there doing your thing, it gives you something to kind of motivate you and aim for as well. Because we didn't really see, I keep an eye on some of this podcast business stuff. I think he might be the first non-white person who's got this level of a deal. We don't usually get these type of deals. These deals are usually reserved for like the Joe Rogans and the cooler daddies of the world, which is cool. I get it. But you don't really hear, like, I don't think I've even heard of a black podcaster getting like a Cooler Daddy deal. I think Cooler Daddy got like 60 mil, 90 mil. Joe Rogan got like 200 mil, 300 mil. We don't usually get those numbers. So it's good to see a black person get those numbers that are usually reserved for white podcasts. Now, I'm assuming that number is in part because he owns the Black Effect Network, right? Which is a whole network of podcast shows as well under that umbrella. So I'm sure that deal was partly because you're bringing all that talent on there. You've got other talent you might sign on there as well. But regardless, an amazing fucking achievement. Let's read through the article courtesy of Forbes. It says how Charlemagne became a media god. It says as follows. One chilly night in November, radio personality Charlemagne the God is roaming through the aisles of the Midtown Comics in New York City, captivated by the heroes and villains that shaped his childhood. Escapism at the highest level, he says. Everybody here has a purpose. Dressed in a black peacoat, white hoodie, black jeans and tan Timberland boots. This isn't the media vigilante that listens to the Breakfast Club that have come to expect over the past 15 years. The 47-year-old comic book nerd leafing through original graphic novels of Batman, Superman and Wolverine, one of his favorites being Luke Cage, is more subdued and introspective as he considered his public-private persona. By the way, I think that's hilarious. I don't think I've ever heard Charlemagne talk about comics. I think this might be a bit of a lie to kind of make yourself look a certain way. But again, I'm all for the rebrand lie. He did the rebrand lie with the mental health shit. He did the rebrand lie with the fucking books and shit. Like, he did a really good rebrand because he hasn't gone back to his old ways, really. He's very polished media-wise, which is fucking phenomenal. So big up him for that. But I don't remember him talking about comics. So I think he's kind of created this new persona. I'm into comics. I'm just a chill guy. I don't think so. But anyway, let's continue. This is the cover as well, by the way. The cover's fucking sick. Him on the front cover of Forbes. That is fucking great to see. That smile is definitely the smile of somebody that knows that the wire's hit. That smile and those eyes are definitely the eyes and the smile of a guy that knows that the wire just hit. That wire just fucking hit. Let's scroll down. It says, I'm like Smart Hulk, Charlemagne tells Forbes. When Bruce Banner learns how to combine himself with the Incredible Hulk and Smart Hulk, I'm Leonard Kelvin. He adds, using his real name, emphasizing the second syllable in his name. Charlemagne is now an extension of that. But Charlemagne is the name of the world has come to know over the past few decades, beginning as a radio intern of the Z93 in Charleston, South Carolina, and continuing through his time with radio host Wendy Williams before joining syndicated radio show in 2010s alongside DJ Envy and Angela Yee. Across more than 100 stations on iHeartMedia Network, he can equal parts trash talker, voice of the voiceless, and an advocate for mental health. Mental health, man. What a fucking scam. What a grift. A balance, as he likes to say, righteousness and righteousness. I like that, by the way. That's, again, going off of Virgil's Underground and Overground. I like that term. Righteousness and righteousness. In other words, he's not afraid to go there. Charlemagne has rallied against Corporate DEI has calling it a well-intended but mostly garbage. And among the celebrities who have been named Donkey of the Day on the Breakfast Club, as are Diddy, con artist Nicki Minaj, Stank and Nasty, and Post Malone, Not My Cup of Mayonnaise. He is also an equal opportunity offender when it comes to politics. After Hours minority leader, Hakeem Jeffries referred to him as a charlatan, the fraud. He responded by taunting Jeffries as Chuck E. Cheese Obama. And while he called for Joe Biden to drop out of the presidential race several months before he actually did, he's also frequently refers to President Trump as a fascist. His quote, "No fear," Jon Stewart says of Chalamet, who was guest on The Daily Show, "He's an incredible ability to distill conversation to salient centers, and it's not a contrivance for clicks. It's real." Adds Bob Pittman, chairman of CEO of iHeartMedia. Does he say stuff that a lot of people don't agree with? Of course, but that's Chalamet true. That's Chalamet being true to Chalamet. When people start talking about you in an article, when people talk about you in an article, you know you've made it, bro. You're not talking, they're talking about you. That's fucking great. Or they're talking on your behalf, you know? That's fucking great. And he's been consistently rewarded with outrageousness. In August, Chalamet signed a 5-year, by the way, keep that in mind. This is why I'm so bullish, and I would always die on this hill. I'm very, very bullish about keeping shit to yourself. Whether it's a job interview, whether it's a fucking promotion, whatever. Keep that news to yourself until the news you're able to tell to people, or until you sign the fucking contract and you sign the document. Do not be hasty. Do not jump out the window. Do not go out of your way to inform the world. Wait. Take your time. There's no need to rush. According to this article, Chalamet signed this deal in August of this year. And it was only the other week that people were talking about him being fired from fucking Breakfast Club. Oh, he's going to get let go. After fucking Ibra got let go, everyone was going after Chalamet because he was a very prominent, pro Kendrick guy during the Kendrick and Drake beef. So a lot of Drake fans were like, deciding that they were going to point their ire at fucking Chalamet and leaving him axe emojis in his fucking comments, thinking he'd be next. All the while, this deal was signed in August. You have to give the guy credit. He kept his mouth closed. He could have had an easy fucking clapback. He could have said something on the socials. He didn't say anything. He just let the article come out. That's pretty sick, man. Having that deal in your back pocket the entire fucking time. In August, Chalamet signed a 5-year deal, $200 million extension with iHeartMedia. The deal keeps Chalamet on Breakfast Club for the near future and puts him in the same league as Joe Rogan, who signed a multi-year extension with Spotify, as reported last year, for $250 million. So again, this is the first time I've heard of a black person get like Joe Rogan numbers. Obviously, Joe Rogan numbers are Joe Rogan numbers because Joe Rogan is Joe Rogan. But it's still pretty cool that Chalamet got this deal. It's pretty fucking cool because I didn't expect this. When he first launched the Black Effect Network, I did not expect it to be this popular, this well regarded, and for however many years after the fact to get 200 million. Absolutely crazy. And if it becomes successful and it does what it needs to do, it hits its targets, because I'm sure this money is probably target led as well. It's going to be amazing what they're going to do going forward. I really am really impressed. So congrats to him. Locking in Chalamet is vital for iHeartMedia, which struck the deal with Netflix to stream The Breakfast Club among 15 other podcasts starting in 2026. But more important, Chalamet's new deal will help him expand his Black Effect podcast network, a joint venture with iHeartMedia. By the way, what shows are on the I want to know what shows are on the Black Effect podcast network anyway. What shows are on there? I've never really known. There it is, right? Black Effect podcast network. Let's see, what's there about? The About Black Effect podcast network is, I'm guessing, a podcast network for black podcasts, right? Black Effect Podcast Network is the first podcast network specifically built for black listeners, bringing together the most talented and trusted voices in black culture for critical conversations on social justice, pop culture, and more. We've curated influential black voices and tastemakers, and will continue to do so as we expand to include not only voices you know, but voices you should. I love that. Okay, cool. And here are some of the shows, some of which I don't really know. But there's a show called The Latest. Let me do all. So you've got 85 and South, I know. All the Smoke, I know. Big Facts, I know. What other show do I know on here? Decisions. I kind of know because I'm familiar with Mandy B, by the way, who's not the greatest, but big up Mandy B. She's now part of a deal with 200 million, which who would have fucking guessed that? Drink Champs I'm aware of. What else I'm aware of here? Not many, but yeah, these are quite popular podcasts within their little niche anyway. So all of these pods are underneath the Black Effect Network. So I'm sure they're going to probably sign more going forward as well. There's probably going to be way more being signed as well. But I love that for them. The quote says, when I was looking at doing a deal with iHeartMedia, I was like, I don't want just to be talent. I want to create this podcast network. I want to create the BET, Black Entertainment Television for podcasting. That's a great quote. That's a great quote. And I love it because that's something that's very different between Chalamet and Joe Budden, because they're, you know, they've had a bit of beef. They're not really cool terms right now, but Joe Budden did say some nice things about Charlamagne's deal anyway. But I really like this deal because the things where I like this deal is that, if I'm not mistaken, apart from Chalamet being on The Breakfast Club, it's mostly a deal for him and Black Effect Network. And the Black Effect Network, the podcast shows are more prominent than he is. He's just the guy behind the scenes, which I think is really good, because as great as Joe Budden is, and as great as that 20 million a year figure is for what he's doing independently, is fucking frighteningly amazing. The fact that he's doing all of that independently, he's doing that with some really, you know, selective ads, he's doing that with a Patreon and shit. It's still mostly centered around Joe Budden, you know? Whereas with Chalamet, this deal came about not just because of his talent, but also because of the infrastructure, the organization, the, you know, the thing that he's built around him, and less so just about his show alone, which I think kind of gives him more reason to kind of charge, or to kind of, you know, maybe be able to get that sort of money. If Joe Budden has to get that kind of money, or gets that kind of money in the future, which I like with him to do, because Joe also has been around for ages. He's been an OG in the scene of doing podcasts and shit, especially in the urban space. I think, you know, for lack of a better term, I think he deserves a big fat deal like this as well. So I'd love to see Joe Budden get a deal like this too. But I think in order for Joe Budden to get a deal that is 3-digit millions, he would need to have a similar network, or a similar, you know, range of shows, all with really good numbers. At the moment, that's not the case, you know? At the moment, if I had to say off my head, the things I noticed or recognize from Joe in terms of shows are obviously the Joe Budden podcast. And of course, the other thing that usually goes quite viral is the relationship show. The show where he has all the co-hosts bring their girls and partners and stuff, and they have like a relationship, you know, whatever conversation in the room. It's not for me personally, but it does work and people seem to like it. And those are the only two shows I want. But again, those two shows are very centered around Joe Budden. You know, they include Joe Budden all the time. So you'll probably need a bunch of shows that don't include him to be successful under his network. And then I think he can get a deal. But I don't think he'll be able to get a deal like that on his own. You know, although Joe Budden got it, you know, sorry, Joe Rogan has got it. That's the example. But I don't know. I think that these numbers, you know, I think those numbers are reserved for the Mundeles, basically. I think if we want to get these numbers, we have to work with a team and network and kind of show our worth that way. But I could be wrong. It continues. Since 2020, Black Effect has launched more than 60 shows, including from former NBA star Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, and entrepreneurs Damon John and Hope Bryant. iHeartMedia's revenue stream. iHeartMedia reported podcast revenue of 448.8 million. Just the other day, Joe was saying podcasting is dead. Like, it's not, mate. God damn. 448 million in 2024, up from 252 million in 2021 and 101 million the year prior. Chalamet says he wants to add more shows in 2026. God damn. So it's going up, in it, audio podcasts, or podcasts in general, yeah. Or especially audio ones, because I think this is what that is mostly audio. He's been very intentional about trying to introduce me at great risk, says Bryant, host of Money and Wealth podcast. Bryant says the partnership benefited lifted the show's profile. It worked like a charm. I want to create 100 versions of me, says Chalamet. This is what I love from Chalamet. I love this from Chalamet. I want to create 100 versions of me. Not just hoard the wealth and be on his own island. He wants others to do as he did or better. That's a really lasting legacy. That's fucking amazing. He looks at what Oprah and Tyler Perry have built with their own studios as the role models, and also takes inspiration from Ryan Seacrest, who started as radio host before becoming ubiquitous on television and transforming himself into a powerful TV producer. That's true. Most notably for his force behind the Kardashians. Oh yeah, true. That's a good point. He is a behind the scenes guy now, isn't it? Ryan Seacrest was properly in front of camera for a while, and now he's mostly a behind the scenes, behind the camera, yeah, in the boardroom type of a dude. That's actually a good person to kind of frame your career on. Charlemagne says Pittman is on that course more than others, and there's not just many of them that come along like that. Yep. A lot has changed in the podcast world since Charlemagne first entered 2014. Back then, the industry relied on dollars and celebrity names to drive revenue, says Rick Ducey, the managing director of Virginia-based BIA Advisory, a media consultancy firm. Now it's driven a lot more by the kind of digital ad metrics that we see coming out of the search, social, and connected TVs. That business model now for podcasting for very digital, so it makes it efficient and effective. People really do not understand the business of podcasting now. Oh no, people really do understand, sorry. People really do understand the business of podcasting now, says Charlemagne. You could look at somebody's audio downloads and know that they should be getting paid. Wow, I love that. Today's podcast network like the Black Effect make money two ways: independently or through distribution deals with media giants like iHeartMedia. For instance, in November 2024, Unwell Podcast Network, founded by Cooler Daddy co-host Alex Cooper, signed a $125 million deal, 3-year distribution deal with SiriusXM. Before that, Cooper had a $60 million deal from Spotify. On the independent side, hip-hop artists like Joe Budden reportedly earns over $20 million on Joe Budden podcasts through ads and premium subscriptions, according to New York Times. That's okay. So again, another example. In order to get the 3-digit millions, if you're not Joe Rogan, you have to have a podcast network. Because even Alex Cooper, who's a very white lady, a very blonde and white lady, she only got that 3-digit million because she had her own network. So I guess if Joe Budden wants to get 3-digit millions, you have to make the Joe Budden network a thing, a proper thing. Let's see if he does that. Before that, Cooper had a $60 million deal with Spotify. I tell a lot of new podcasters, either get a very low minimum guarantee or no minimum guarantee. I've seen people make more money just off advertising. Wow. Charlemagne also is working to expand iHeartMedia's audience reach. In June, Black Effect announced a joint venture with popular music distributor or popular music podcast called Drink Champs, which has started its own group of shows. It's such a valuable position of content in the podcast platform, Ducey says. I like what iHeart is doing, bringing compelling content to podcasting on the platform that's going to drive more audience and more advertiser spending. You start to look at networks underneath Charlemagne among talent that makes sense to me, that makes sense to him to promote, give resources through iHeart, and then take a piece. Like all great comic book heroes, Charlemagne has an origin story. Let's skip past that. At 17, he found himself expelled. When Charlemagne learned to play the violin, we don't care about that. And yes, Charlemagne also dreams of launching a comic book in line. He even has plans to develop a character on his image, a godlike powers, concept driven by, derived by for teachings of the 5% Nation, a black nationalist group that emerged in the mid-1960s. Black men represent God and black women represent Earth. Charlemagne has already released 5-part comic book series called Illuminati in partnership with AWA Studios. A goal is to create a new generation of black characters. It's time for a new era of comics, he says. Fucking hell. Man got 200 million and he already wants to create his own fucking comics. He's not fucking stopping. Big up fucking Charlemagne, man. Big up fucking Charlemagne. Amazing deal, amazing news, super fucking inspiring. Hope he goes and kills it from now on in. Hope he goes and kills it. And an amazing, maybe one of the greatest glow-ups in media history. Maybe one of the greatest glow-ups in the history of media. The fact that he went from where he went from being a shock jock to being on a cover of Forbes with a $200 million check in his back pocket. This is fucking fantastic work. This is a proper generational run. Everyone says Nick Fuentes is on a generational run. No, this is a proper generational run. Big up fucking Charlemagne. Big up blood clot fucking Charlemagne. You love to hear it. You freaking love to freaking hear it. Okie dokie. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about this, courtesy of The Guardian. So I've got to reload this. Big up everybody in the stream chat, by the way. If you're watching live and you're here and you hear my voice and you like what you see what you like, make sure you click the like button. If you're watching this show live, click the like button. If you're listening to the show via the audio side of the podcast, leave me a 5-star review. Share the show with your friends. Post a screenshot of what you're listening to on your stories. Share. Get the show out there for me so I too can secure my £200 million deal. You know? You do that, you secure that for me, who knows? I might do a giveaway and give you a fucking $5. I might do a giveaway and give you 20 quid. You never fucking know. So support the show, share the show with all your family and friends. That'd be greatly appreciated. And like I said before, I am dual streaming on Kick. So if you want to jump on there and watch it through Kick and stuff, you're more than welcome. You are more than welcome. Cool. Big up the Guardian. Big up the Blood Clot Guardian. I get to do whatever I want in the moment while more people are going to gigs, festivals, and clubs alone. This is music to my fucking ears. I've been doing this from the get-go, from the moment I came into the industry. I've been on my own. Yes, I'm a lone soldier. I'm a lone wolf. I'm a fucking rebel. I'm a rah-rah-rah kind of guy. But I've been on this tip from the beginning. And I love that this is becoming more and more common because I'm seeing more and more people out in general, forming new connections, going out and enjoying themselves. Now, off the bat, off the top, before we get into the article, the reason why I've always been very pro solo clubbing is simple. And it's just a circumstances, right? Needs must sort of thing. I was always of the belief that although it would be much more fun to go to an event, to go to a festival, to go to a rave, to go to a fucking panel discussion, whatever, with friends, some people that know me well, who I know well, I can't put myself in a position where I don't go to things because my friends are not going. I think that's the greatest shame, the greatest tragedy in the world. It's for you to not go to something that you want to go to just because your friends are not going to accompany you. Now, that also includes going to dinner. That also includes going to the cinema, going to the movies. That also includes going shopping. That includes a bunch of things. That includes going on holiday. I refuse to deny myself going to certain places, experiencing certain things, right? Just because I don't have somebody to go with. Yes, it would be better if I did it with somebody else. Of course, nobody's saying it wouldn't. But at the moment, if I can go by myself because I have to, then I will, and I have a fucking great time. And the great thing about clubs in general, or, you know, is that you're rarely alone in a nightclub. You might arrive there alone, but you're not there alone once you're on a dance floor. You're kind of together. You're kind of a group. You're kind of in this, you're kind of having this shared experience. People coming from all walks of life to kind of, you know, to go to the club specifically, to maybe listen to a certain DJ. You're never going to actually be alone. So the hardest part is leaving your house. The hardest part is getting the courage to head out and go by yourself. But once you're in there, it's literally impossible for you to feel like you're alone. Unless you're maybe too much in your head, unless you've got proper anxiety, unless maybe you're really shy, like super, super duper shy. I think if you really put yourself out there and you really decide to step out and rave on your own, you're never going to look back again. And immediately, in more cases than one, immediately, you'll probably find a friendship group. You'll probably find a bunch of people that you want to hang out with, especially if you go to events regularly, especially if you follow a certain DJ around regularly around the country, around the city. You'll end up bumping into the same people. It's really a small kind of community of people. It's very hard for you to feel lonely in a club, even if you go by yourself. So that's why I'm a big fan of it. So let's read the article anyway and see what they're saying in this particular article. Let's see. From solo travel to dining alone, people are increasingly been embracing social activities by themselves in the years since the pandemic, even in the ultra social context of live music and clubs. Oh, and club culture. That's true for the pandemic, by the way, because for me, I noticed post-pandemic, what I noticed post-pandemic was this. I noticed post-pandemic that a lot of my friends who I used to go out clubbing with, a lot of my friends who I used to get it on with were just, for some reason, they just, that switch turned off. Some of them started families. Some of them moved out of London because the lockdowns happened. They went back home. They kind of fell in love. Because a lot of my friends also did that, right? A lot of them kind of ran away from their homes, especially if they lived up north in the Midlands and shit, to kind of live in London. And even if they meant they had to share a room, they prefer to live in London. But then when the pandemic came, a lot of people started to appreciate where they were actually from, you know, if they're like where their parents' homes are. And a lot of them went back home to kind of save some money. And then when they went back home, they thought, you know what, I can actually work remotely and live here, or I can just get a job around here and stay here in general and kind of, you know, kind of get back to my roots that way. So a lot of them moved away. A lot of them started families, and a lot of them just got turned off from raving. They just kind of, you know, raving raving kind of was the last thing on their mind during the COVID lockdown. So when the lockdowns ended, there wasn't a bunch of people left to go raving with. I also did notice there wasn't the same people on the dance floors, right? It kind of changed. There's a bit. I remember the first few raves post-pandemic was a bit odd. You know, the kind of crowd that you saw. Now it's kind of gone back to normal, but the first few weeks was kind of strange. So definitely, if you want to rave after the pandemic, you definitely notice that you'd probably have to go a lot more on your own. A recent survey from Ticketmaster, it says in the article, found that a number of people have attended either a weekend or a day festival by themselves has risen from 8% in 2019 to 29% this year. Wow, that's a massive jump, isn't it? Reading Elise Festival introduced a campsite area for solo travelers this year. Whoa, that is sick. Joining Download's long-standing Lone Wolf. Yeah, that's what I went to. My first download was out there, actually, Lone Wolf. They've got a Facebook group for it as well. It's fucking brilliant. It's fucking brilliant. Big up Download. That's actually the first festival I actually went to, I think. Yeah, I think Download was the first festival I've ever been to. On my own, especially. Big up Download. And there was a growing number of social media pages such as London Solo Ravers. Yep, I know that one. And WhatsApp groups such as Untitled Rave Community Project for people venturing to clubs alone. If I go to an event with, by the way, they're putting WhatsApp groups in fucking a Guardian article. I imagine the amount of people that must have signed up to be on that fucking WhatsApp group. They're advertising. Jesus Christ. Okay, anyway, big up everybody in there. The quote says here, if I go to an event with somebody else, I can very much spend the night doing if I go to an event with someone else, I can very much spend the night doing their night as they would want it, says Anis Espinoza, a 26-year-old from London. When I go alone, I get to do whatever I want in the moment, whether that's going to get a drink or getting right in front of where the DJs are. You can just act on pure instinct. I feel like a little video game character in a funny story. Oh, that's a good point, actually. I never thought about it that way. That's actually a really good point. You can just do your own thing. I guess when you're with friends, you kind of feel like you kind of have to compromise. You know, you can't just always do your thing. You kind of want to, you know, be fair. And also, they just maybe don't want to go to the front. You know, you might have those friends that don't want to be kind of squashed up in the front of the booth. You got friends that don't want to be in the middle of the dance floor. You got friends that want to be in the smoking area the whole time. You got friends that want to be doing, you know, endless bumps in the fucking toilet the whole time. So I guess if you're on your own, you can kind of do what you want to your heart's content. Okay. That makes sense. I never thought about it that way, to be fair. Because I've always do what I want because I'm special. Anyway, Dr. Karenza Moore, a researcher of club culture and recreational drug use at Newcastle University, says people's top reason for going out alone is a particular interest in genre of music. Maybe you love happy hardcore, but struggle to find anyone else that shares the enthusiasm for 180 BPM insanity. This reflected in the Ticketmaster's findings too, which showed that the interest in music, which was a main draw for solo punters at a festival. Yeah, true. That's a really good point. That's a really, 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 really good point. Going to things like that, that's a really good point. That's a really good point. And amid the cost of living crisis, people may struggle to find infused friends who can afford to go out. Quote, if you don't know anybody and you want to go to that kind of thing, you just have to be okay with going on your own, says Imi Jagger, who is 26 and based in Manchester and has gone solo to a number of electronic music nights and queer parties. Yeah, true. There's certain festivals out there that you're not really going to find people in your friendship group that are going to want to go. It just is what it is, especially nowadays with the amount of festivals, the range of festivals, the locations, the frequency. It's going to be really fucking hard to find people that are going to be on it to go all the time. And for me, obviously I'm a lone wolf, I'm a lone soldier, do my own thing, but I also don't like putting, you know, responsibility on other people. You know, I don't like to pressure anybody because they're your friends. If you ask your friend, hey, will you come with me? Even if they don't want to come, if it's a true friend, they're gonna make the effort to go just to kind of make you happy and keep you company. But you don't want to put somebody out and make somebody feel away, you know, for going to a place that maybe only you are more interested in. They don't mind hanging out with you because they love you as a friend, but you're the one that wants to go to the night. So you're better off just like, you know what I mean, leaving your friends alone, going and do your thing. And then who knows, whilst you're out there, you could also bump into some friends and have a good time. And it doesn't even matter that, just to stress, it doesn't actually matter that you make the friend on the dance floor. I think it's more important. No, it doesn't matter that you make a friend that you can be friendly with outside of the club. It's just important that you meet somebody at the club, you know? that you maybe bump into and have a couple of chats with, maybe you know, a little kind of nod from afar. Like, that's actually part of the good thing. I think I really enjoy. I'm not going to lie. I actually really enjoy, oddly enough, the random interactions with random adults and shit more than I enjoy anything else. Whether that's getting on it, whether that's trying to hook up with anybody. I swear, like that, just chatting randomly to a fucking stranger all night about some nonsense, maybe whoever's playing something you saw online, whatever it may be, your interest. I think that's fucking cool, man. I fucking love it. I think that's one of the best parts of going raving a lot, is the community of people that you find out there. I swear. I swear. Let's continue. Great little picture there. Photography by a person called Simon Wolfart. Ooh, Wolfart. God damn it, man. You must have got bullied in school. Big up Simon or Simon Wolfart. Since the pandemic, there has been a rise in meetups such as singles nights, group events for strangers, offline hangouts, and walking groups, lessening the stigma around being a loner. Two other reasons cited in Ticketmaster's research were a sense of freedom, opportunity to meet like-minded people, and more ads that many of us have become fatigued with the meeting and interacting of people online. People are really appreciating doing the things in real life. Yeah, true. And it's just different, isn't it? Not even fatigued, they're just different. The experiences that you have, the meetings you have in person are just different from what you would have if you went outside or you went, you know, meet someone online. It's just a different thing. I don't think it's necessarily bad or whatever. It's just different. That's what I would say. It's just fucking different. And I think it's good to have both of those experiences. Catty Rosie, a professor at the University of Creative Arts in Surrey, who has a research interest in the club culture, suggests that the rise in solo partying may be another facet of how people are more interested in consuming experiences than things. True. What you want is experience. And also you want to share that experience on social media. Yep, true. And you get that in spades if you go online social. If you go solo raving, you can. That's another positive too. If you're a fucking habitual clip taker, picture taker, you could take as many clips and pictures that you want without your friend getting annoyed or feeling embarrassed. You know. So that's another good thing about being a solo raver. But anyone in it for the Instagram likes will be a minority, and Moore says that many solo ravers end up finding a sense of togetherness. Inevitably, I don't know how to say that word properly. Inevitably, you go on your own, and then you're not on your own. True. 33-year-old Ben Walton from North Wales has been going out alone since he was 23 and does so 2 or 3 times a month. Big up Ben, legend. I can meet new people from a variety of different backgrounds and people I have never and I may never see again. That's one of the best bits, by the way. That's a very underrated bit, but one of the best bits. I would actually go as far as saying this as a professional solo raver. I personally think you're better off not exchanging details, Instagram, numbers, whatever, with somebody you feel a deep connection with, like platonically, that you love, that you had a great time with and shit, and then letting that experience just live in that moment, experience it there, and then maybe in the future bumping into them again, then get a number. I think it's overrated. Don't go for the number. Don't go for the details. Just experience it in the moment. Be in the moment. Because I've had a couple of those experiences before where I've had this, super intense, super real fun, experience hanging out with somebody random. One particular guy I remember speaking to for fucking ages in the fucking Berghain toilets about life and shit until somebody had to bang down the door and tell us to fucking get the fuck out of there because we were taking too much time and shit. We were in there for hours discussing life and, exchanging fucking multivitamins and shit. And then this guy, I didn't get the number of the guy. I ended up losing him throughout the shuffle of the club and shit. And guess what? The same guy that I was talking to in that fucking club toilet cubicle, one other time when I went back to Berlin again, I was walking down the street in Neukölln somewhere, and I bumped into that same guy walking down the street. He literally screamed my name from across the road. He's like, Agostino. I was like, who the fuck knows me here? I looked across the road, I was like, oh my God, I instantly recognized him. That hug, that was a real bro hug, man. Much love in that bro hug. And we ended up hanging out the whole night, went kind of, bar hopping and shit. That's a much richer experience. And then after that, is when we exchange details. But I don't think you need to exchange details on the initial reaction. Just experience it in the moment. Just live in the moment and it'll be far richer experience for you. That's my little advice of the day. Let's continue. 33-year-old Ben Walton from North Wales has been going out alone since he was 23 and does so 2 or 3 times a month. I can meet new people from a variety of different backgrounds, he says, people I may never see again. There's a beauty in that. During her time, Jaeger agrees. During her time at Awakenings, a Netherlands techno festival, she tacked onto a group of Dutch friends she'd never met before, which says she never would have done if it weren't for if there were people that she already knew. No, she said she would never have done issues with people she already knew. Getting to know them for the weekend was so interesting. It's fascinating, especially if you're in a different country, because you get to experience a different culture. Indeed. That doesn't happen often, by the way. If you go internationally, unfortunately, you end up meeting people all over the world. But if you do meet people that are actually from there, the country and stuff, that's fucking cool. You get to, learn about them and how they go out, their culture, their scene and shit, how they are as people. It's fucking amazing. This trend is partly facilitated by social media. Rossi says that people have gotten used to hybrid digital in-person communities, and there's lots of research about how the internet can connect you with communities that are not on your doorstep, but are yours in the sense that you have shared interest. I fucking love that. Having enjoyed similar events with friends for around a decade, Espinosa only started going out alone this year and chalks it up to age and confidence. Some research suggests that the average age of festival goers is increasing and older people are still going out frequently, which may account for an increased number of attending solo. Something more also points out as a potential driver. Beyond that, there has been a focus on welfare and harm reduction in live events, meaning that they are perceived as safe. People know that if something was to happen, they can go and speak to staff, says Moore. For Espinosa, this depends on the crowd. In general, it feels safer for me to be alone at a rave than a club. Oh, interesting. Where people are usually just trying to pull and drinking loads of alcohol. So people make a distinction between raving and clubbing. I don't know. I guess I see them the same way. I guess a rave technically isn't in a club. They're usually in like spaces that are like, repurposed, I guess. But I don't know. I just see them as interchanging. But I wonder, but that does make sense though. If you go to a rave, they're probably going to be done by like a smaller collective community party promoter, and they're also going to be aimed at a particular niche group of people. A club is like, all you can eat. Everyone's going to be in that shit. But a rave, you're going to have to know about the rave. You're going to have to know when it's on, be a part of the community. You're going to have to get passed by the fucking door picker person. A club probably won't have that. Just have a security guard scan your fucking passport and your retina and take your fucking thumbprint and a fucking sample of your DNA and shit and all that nonsense. But I get it. If you're a girl, you'll probably feel, oddly enough, even though a rave is more rowdy and full of people, you probably will feel more safer, because if you go to like a queer rave, you're not going to get touched. If you go to a queer club night, it could be different. So yeah, I understand that. Where people are usually trying to pull and drink loads of alcohol, whereas at raves, people are usually just there for the music and to dance. True. Jaeger is also a little skeptical, says, I don't feel physically safe at raves because spiking, harassment and assault are still common, but I do often feel more accepted. Okay. But while it can be difficult to at first let go, Espinosa puts it, going out solo can also increase self-esteem. It's quite validating to know I'm more independent and on other people, and I can create a great experience on my own too. Going back to the point about going out and feeling safe, I think in general, I'm not going to lie, this is kind of somewhat controversial. With the exception of spiking, I think all the rest of the things, and maybe the assault, let's say, I think the rest of the things are important for your just character building. I think it's a good thing that clubs are not, or raves are not all the way safe. Because it's nighttime, right? As my parents used to always say, nothing good happens after 9 p.m. Which is technically true, right? A lot of bad things happen when it goes dark. And also in a nightclub, people are drunk and they're high and stuff. I think it's a good thing that you have to be on your P's and Q's. You have to keep your head on a swivel, Xavi style, Iniesta style, when you're out in the club, especially if you're a young woman, right? You have to do that to keep yourself safe. I think that's a good thing. I think if we existed in a world where clubs were this utopia, this place where you could go and just let yourself be free and, let your inhibitions go and not have a care in the world and dance with your eyes closed the entire time, that would end in disaster. I think it's a good thing that you have to be on your P's and Q's and keep your eyes sharp and your wits about you, because it means you're alert to the dangers around you. And it also means you're going to have a more richer time too, because you're going to really be in the moment, experiencing everything that's going around you. You're just going to be flittering, skipping around like like you've got your head in the clouds. So I think that teaches good club discipline, etiquette, behavior, whatever else it may be. But in general, I think there are so many raves out there, so many collectives, so many scenes that you can find where you can, if you're really worried about safety, where you can find that kind of case of that. That I also like, because before we didn't have a choice. Before we had to just make do with fabric. We had to all make do with fabric. Fucking awful. We all hated it, but we had to make do with fabric. Nowadays, we don't have to make do with anything. We can kind of pick and choose what we want based on our interest, based on our kind of subculture, our group of people that we're into, which I fucking love, by the way. So I do encourage everybody out there, if you haven't been solo raving before, it's the experience. It's going to change your life. It will absolutely open other doors and expose you to a whole different side of raving. That's what I think. That's what I think. Big up everybody in the stream chat. Big up Don Dota. It never feels lonely going out alone when everyone feels enjoyed themselves. Music, exactly. Just tuning in. What's the word? Big up Worlds. We're out here just talking shit, my friend. Big up Kirimaru Setsuna. You have to do more kick stuff. It's cool that you can watch more stuff there. Yep. I'm gonna be doing that more, my friend. Big up Kimaru Setsuno. Baden tried to start an own network. Ebro should be doing Let Go 10 years ago. Yeah, true. So big up everybody in the stream chat. Big up everybody on the YouTube stream chat. And also big up everybody on the Kick chat as well. I appreciate you. If you haven't already, make sure you like and this stream. Make sure you also follow my Kick channel if you can. Make sure you follow my Kick channel if you can. That'll be greatly appreciated. I'm actually going to quickly put the link in here so you people can actually follow my Kick channel, because I would like some more followers on there in order to make sure that everything that I'm doing on my Kick channel on there is flipping kosher. So make sure you follow me over there on the old Kiki Von Kixie. But big up everybody for tuning in still. Appreciate every single one of you. Always a pleasure, never a flipping chore. Make sure you absolutely do my Kick channel. Let me make sure I put the same screen as I need to do. Okay, there we go. Over here, yep, just make sure there's my Kick channel. So if you haven't already followed that channel, make sure you follow that channel too. That'll be greatly appreciated. Everybody on Kick at the moment, appreciate too as well. Thank you for being here. Cool, let's move on. Next thing I want to talk about is this. Big up RA. Berlin Club Renate to remain open in 2026. The best news we could ask for. You know what's really funny? I've never been to Renate. I think I've been to most of the big clubs in Berlin over the years that I've been going on my little Berlin techno weekenders. But I don't think I've ever been to Renate. I really don't think so. Maybe if I see the location, I'll remember I might have went there during some drunken, drug-filled stupor. But I don't remember ever going to Renate. But it's a very popular, very well-regarded small club over there in Berlin that everybody really likes. They were due to close, but now the news is they're going to remain open in 2026, which is really, really good news. So let's read the article courtesy of RA. Berlin Club Renate to remain open in 2026. The quote says, the best news we could ask for. The Friedrichstraße venue has secured an extension to its lease, which had been set to expire at the end of December. So yeah, lastminute.com fucking extension. Fucking brilliant, man. They must be so fucking happy. The Friedrichstraße venue, which is, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is the Friedrichstraße actually next to Bergen? I'm not too sure. The Friedrichstraße venue shared the news today, in December 18th, confirming that they've managed to extend the lease on their current location into the new year since late 2024. Renate had expected to close permanently at the end of 2025. So Renate were doing the Sports Direct thing. Remember back in the day, Sports Direct in the UK, if you're here, they were like, you know, soon to be closing down, about to close down for like 4 years, 5 years. So I guess Renate are doing the same thing. We're closing. This is the last year. No, we promised this is the last year. Well, there's no more last year. They've got another extension for last year in 2026. In a public statement, Renate called the unexpected update the best news they could ask for. The venue will go forward with the 86-hour New Year's Eve party. I wish I was there for that so badly. Before temporarily closing the beginning of 2026 to reset and regroup and carefully plan for the next steps. Official reopening date remains TBA. Details beyond the fact that Renate will continue 2026 are still in development, as we need to essentially restart the club, rebuild the team, reorganize organizational processes, start new bookings, and plan for the future that has come as a whole welcome surprise. Renate owner, CEO Robert Carousel said in a statement. By the way, I have dreams and aspirations of opening a club one day, right? In a sort of like Joe Rogan style. If no one's gonna book me, I'm gonna book myself type of thing, right? But the thing that he listed here makes you think running a club is a full-time job, innit? More than a full-time job. You know, rebuild the team, reorganize organization process, start new bookings, plan for the future. Like, there's a lot going on. You know, there's a lot of plates you have to spin if you own a club. It's not just simply like booking the best DJs and going from there. You have to really do a lot of stuff, you know? God damn. He added, we have a massive job ahead of us. So there'll be a break after New Year's Eve. Well deserved, I'd imagine, after 86 hours. Because imagine, if the night is going, I'd imagine, right? Think about this. If they've got an 86-hour New Year's event happening, just imagine the work that's needed to put that event on. That's what I think of. Think of the work that's needed to put the event on. Think of the amount of hours needed to set it up. And think about the amount of hours needed to bring it down. Woo! But we look forward to keeping everyone informed on what comes next as soon as information is available. Opened in 2007, Renate features the 3 dance floors and outdoor courtyard. In the coming weeks, the venue will host the likes of Claudia PRC, Acid Foxy, Ben Sims, and Louis Fauci. Okay, read more about their reopening and the upcoming events below. So I'm actually going to check the Instagram. What's the Instagram saying so we can read everything in full? Big up Renate. Instagram caption or the Instagram post. As of Tuesday, 16th of December 2025, we have reached an agreement to extend the lease on our current location, securing a long-term future of the venue. Getting this news at a time where we were all in the final stages of ending operations is the best news we could have hoped for. Yeah, Oxford, exactly, I'd imagine. However, since clarity for the future came short notice, we need to take some time to reset, regroup, and carefully plan for our next step. So basically, they won't open again until that New Year's Eve party. That makes sense. As soon as the foreseeable events, for this reason, we will remain temporarily closed following our New Year's Eve celebrations. Oh, sorry, my bad. I retract that. They're going to be open from now until New Year's end, and then they're going to be closed after that. As soon as it is foreseeable when we open, we will communicate it publicly. For now, we ask for patience while we plan what happens next. Details beyond the fact that Renate will continue in 2026 are still in development, but we want to take this break to lead Renate into a phase with full energy. Our New Year's celebration will continue as planned, but it's no longer a goodbye. It's a celebration of an exciting future. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for everyone who's rallied behind us. It feels that the outpouring of support has got us to this point in Renate. We trust. We've got some good comments here from people too in the scene. Big up Lily Ackerman. Wow, amazing. Yeah, everyone's happy about this, isn't it? Wow, amazing for Lily Ackerman. This person says it's Christmas miracle. A huge win for the electronic music scene in Berlin. Another person says playing at Renate was definitely among the best club experience I've ever had in Berlin. So happy for the story to continue. Another person here says spent half my 20th at the Renate. Legendary club. Nature is healing. LOL, this was a PR stunt from day one. Anyways, finally a good news for Berlin club scene. Wow. Conspiracy theorist, huh? Another person says, yeah, a year and a half long pressure of a whole team to wonderful people who work every weekend to keep the Berlin club alive as a PR stunt. Thanks for bringing up your necessary jaded opinion on our doorstep. Whoa. This is the most Berlin comment ever. What, are Berlin haters? Is that why? This person said, this is the most Berlin comment hater. I guess Berlin are known to be haters. Big up FKA M4A. Great DJ. Big congrats. They can't take away our Berlin. Another person says, amazing news. Happy to hear for you guys. Blah, blah, blah. It's a Christmas miracle. It's a miracle. Hanukkah. Okay, cool. Everyone's happy. Everyone's fucking happy. Good to see. Good to hear. I'm actually curious. Do they have any location things where you can check out here? Let's see. Is there any so I can see what it might? Because I don't know if I've actually ever been there. I think so. I think I might have been there, but I just want to double check. I don't think I've actually ever been there. It looks like it might be near. Is it near Same Heads? I don't know. No, I don't think I've been there. This might be the only club in Berlin I've literally never been to. I swear down. I think I always feel like I've been there, but I don't think I have. If that's the outside, I don't really recognize the outside. Oh no, I think I have. Is that a bridge? Is that a bridge where a train passes by? I think I've been here before. Yeah, I think I have. But I'm probably very drunk and very high and I don't remember. What has happened here? This will probably be the biggest endurance test in a while. Okay, cool. I don't know what they're looking at here. I guess something happened to the clubs. What else have we got here? Any other pictures? This is some pictures on the outside. This is I guess a market thing that happened there recently. They do market store things too, I guess, on the Sunday, which is quite a good use of the space. Let's actually put the sound up on that one. Anything? No noise? Okay, no noise, I guess. Cool. No volume there. What else have we got going on here? Any other pictures of people inside? This is another picture, another big picture inside. This is probably sometimes these are the only things that I see that I'm like, you know what, I should probably live in Berlin, innit? When I see stuff like this. Imagine living in a building, one of these buildings, and this is your balcony, and you see this set being played on the street, and you got this nice view of just watching this amazing DJ set, all his vibes just happening right in front of you. These are the only things I see when I was like, you know, it'd be quite cool to live there. But then I think about the logistics of living there, you know, having to learn German, interacting with German people on the regular, the food, the cold. I'm like, probably not. But stuff like this, you're like, fuck, man, living there would be pretty fun. Wow. So cool. So cool. So cool. Okay, that's Renate. I don't think I've been in there. I don't think I've been in there. I'm not going to lie. I don't think I've actually been in there. I think I'm mistaken. I think I may be mistaken. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't actually think so. Let me. There's no pictures on the inside because I don't think they let you take pictures on the inside, which is a good thing. But I don't think I've been there, blood clot. Okay, cool. Cool. Big up Renate anyway. Great to fucking see anything recent in there that I can check out before we move on. Bada bing, bada boom. Cool. Renate's not going anywhere. We heard that. Cool. Okay, big up fucking Renate. Big up blood clot Renate. You love to hear it. You love to fucking hear it. Other news concerning Berlin clubs. Big up RA for this one. A new club concept called Kranok launches in Berlin. A new club concept Kranok launches in Berlin. The 2-floor space. Opening night on December 6th, just past host OK William, James Moore, and more. Called Kranok. Let's hear about this one. It says here, a new club concept is coming to Berlin. Set to launch on December the 6th. Kranok will host events monthly from Saturday to 7 p.m. to Sunday at noon. Interesting way to open a club, innit? Saturday 7 to Sunday at noon. Located in the southern corner of Berlin, the space is split between 2 rooms. Solas will host opening and closing sets, while the Kranok main room will feature sub-heavy custom sound system and will be reserved for long-form headline sets. That's quite interesting, isn't it? So one room will have many DJs, one room will have one DJ. Although full programming details yet to be announced, Kranok invite only opening features. Okay, let's go on the Kranok IG. Anything going on there? Oh, nothing. No post. There's a club there, but there's no post, anything about the thing. Interesting. Very hush. Very private. I love to hear that. Okay, literally nothing else about the club online. No IG pictures, nothing. Just that one RA article. Big up blood clot Kranok. You can request an invite at their club, but there's nothing else going on there. Okay, let's see. Anything else? Let's see if there's anything else online about this. I'm curious to see if I'm just bugging or if there's more news about it. Any other news about Kranok the club? No, that's it. Nothing else. Nothing else about Crannock is online. Fair play. Fair play. Big up Blood Clot Crannock. Another club has opened. It's called Club MA or Club AM, not MA, AM. The Spandu space will host Cassie, Jana Falcon and more. Opening party already passed in November. The article says here, located in the complex industrial buildings of the Brunsbutler Dam in Spandu. AM Club is a 800 capacity, one room venue with plans to expand over the coming months. Founded by Leon Stewart, Jonathan Cavander and Robin Jair, the club currently uses Function 1 sound system. AM's opening party on the 29th will feature Cassie, Cassie, Jana Falcon, John Hester, Mr. Wills and Voice. Further booking details remain TBA. Okay, let's check out this club. I'm curious to see if they've got an IG for sure, right? Yeah, let's see what AM Club's about. AM Club just opened. They've got Nastia Regal playing for the New Year's party. Love that. Nastia Regal here. Vouch. Someone called Shik Tanks. Was that Shek Tanks? Seni Cavender. Cool. We like to see that. Do you see the inside? A little bit there. Not really that much. But it's another club that's open. Again, Berlin, new clubs are popping up out of the blue, innit? All over the place, man. New clubs are popping up all over the place. That's one of the... Is that another one? What's that? Any other new clubs here? Any pictures of the opening on the inside? I don't think so. Any inside pictures? What's that? Who's that talking? Pop-up event.
13.12. Heute ist ein Pure Ice Pop-Up Event in Berlin-Spandau und der Geburtstag meiner Mutter.
Spandau. In Berlin, Spandau.
Wusstest du schon? Berlin hat gleich 2 neue...
Okay. Not many pictures of the inside of it though. Not many pictures of the inside, but that club's open. Big up that club. And then the last one to mention is a club called C115. A new multi-purpose venue launches inside historic Berlin Grandstand. The 1930 railway turbine overlooking the Avius racetrack has reopened as a sculptural glass-wrapped event space. Woo! Glass-wrapped. The hybrid event location and club format series C115 was taken over the 100-year-old AVUS Tribune Grandstand, built in 1936. Fucking hell. And long fixture in the Berlin's former high-speed race circuit. The protected monument has undergone a full interior overhaul, preserving the concrete and steel shell while introducing the high-end sound system. Rather than a weekly club schedule, C1115 will host various program nights spanning listening events, one-off cultural shows and daytime parties. A soft launch of the event on December the 6th will launch with someone called Alkis Not How, Adriana Lucid and DJ Durban. Browse the event listings below. Oh, look at the space, bro. That looks beautiful, innit? Glass all around, floor to ceiling. Can't be mad at that. Wonder how long that'll last though. It looks like, you know, people might smash it and shit. That looks fucking beautiful though. Looks absolutely gorgeous. Not gonna lie. No, any events coming up? Let's see. Let's check any events coming up for this space. C115. 22nd of December. XOXO MCRT event happening on the Monday. Let's check out I'm sure they have an Instagram, right? Yep. So they have pictures and stuff, ideas, venue. You can see what it looks fucking beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. It looks absolutely beautiful. Location, you see the location there. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at this club. What's it called? C115, right? C115 Berlin. Let's see if they've got an IG for this. I'm curious to see if there's any pictures on the inside that man can quickly check out here. Boom, boom, boom. Is there anything here? Nope, doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it. All right, cool. Well, still, no, there we go. That's the club venue. Fair play. Not many pictures, but it's there anyway. It's there anyway. So big up C115. It looks fucking great. It looks fucking great. It looks fucking great. Is there a video of it? Can you see on the inside or not? That's a little video. Ah, it's that rectangle building. Oh yeah, because it's on a racetrack, isn't it? True. So it's on that run. It's that one rectangle building. Interesting place. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. That's pretty fucking cool. And there's a view of what it looks like on the inside, kinda as well. You see there. Okay, not too shabby. Not too shabby. Not too fucking shabby. Another one too here, courtesy of RA. Club Realm. This is a really big club over there in Amsterdam. I didn't get a chance to go there, but this is very, very well regarded. People have a lot of great things to say about Club Realm. So let's check them out as well. They're gonna tap Ski Mask. Big up Ski Mask. I think he's doing it all night here in London. I think when next year, I think sometime. I'm looking forward to that one. Pearson Sounds for 2026 Weekender. The next edition of the party series, which is called Spiel Ram, is going to happen on February 13 and 14, which is Valentine's Day weekend. Was that what the inside of the club looks like? This club, Ram. Jesus Christ, amazing. One big space, a massive square, LED on the roof, outline of it, by the way, like a square. That's really fucking cool. Let's read the article. Amsterdam's Club Ram has revealed a lineup for its next Spiel Ram weekender. The event series returns next year, February 13, 14, with a 17 artist bill. Among the DJs book is Ski Mars, Pearson Sound, Bashka, Pariah, Anita, who I love, Tiny, who I love, Richard Akipengbing, Marco Shuttle, and Tommy 47, which is always a good time. One of Amsterdam's first queer parties, Spiel Ram, will establish 2017 by Sven Bijam and Diego Majors. The duo went on to found the Club Ram in 2024, where they launched residency programs, emerging artists. Fucking love it. Okay, I actually want to see what this club looks like, because everyone always says it looks fucking amazing. They always do great parties there, right? And obviously they have all these fucking trendy, cool, that new way everyone designed flyers, which I don't mind. Who they have here? They have they got Pablo Boozy playing Soft Crash Night with Face Fatale. They got Byron Yates playing Core Super back to back with Pariah. That sounds fucking like a vibe. Who else? Many people here. Shanti Celeste is playing there. Sick. Yeah, they've got all the heavyweights. All the heavyweights playing. Can I actually see Club Ram? Do they have they must have an IG, right? They must have an IG. Let's check out their IG. There we go. Club Ram IG. What's saying on their stories? They've got the event happening. And then they've also got the pictures of all the fucking flyers. But I'm assuming nothing on the inside, right? Because this is what we do, innit? We keep all this stuff hush hush. I'm assuming probably nothing on the inside, because you don't want to reveal any secrets. What's this?
De club de wereld openen. En ik wilde vooral nieuwe elektronische dansmuziek laten horen. En ik wilde daarnaast ook een soort van plek creëren waar de mensen, het nachtvolk, de zwervers, bij elkaar konden komen. En echt een unieke, exclusieve club aantroffen. Waar ze zich thuis voelden.
Nice. We don't get any inside pics though, but man's got rich history still. Big up Crab Room. Okay, cool. Anything else on there? You see the flyer. What is that? What's the... Okay, cool. Big up Shanti Celeste and all them man them playing there still. You love to see it. No, look. Let's see if I can find the Club Round location. Let's see. Anything? Nope. Okay, cool. I ain't too mad at that. Big up Club Ram still. Big up Club Ram Room. However you fucking pronounce it. What's that? Always wanted to go Heaven or Club Room? Club of the Week. Club of the Week. Okay, big up RA. Maybe this will give me a bit of history of what this club is about. Club of the Week. Amsterdam, Netherlands. Club Ram opened in 2004 or 2024 with a mission to create a space where the queer community can come together. Ram blends high quality sound and a sense of belonging. It evolved from the underground queer night Spell Realm, which began in 2017. That I love. I love club nights going on to found and launch their own clubs. That's fucking cool. We're more than just a dance floor. Realm is a sanctuary for the creative incubator. Its layout inspired the concept of hetero Heterotopia. Is that Heterotopia? Includes 3 distinct rooms designed with offer unique experiences, reflecting its mission to be a space where all identities can thrive. Yeah, love it. Oh, that's the inside, yeah? Fuck, that looks cool. What is that? What are those booths? What are these little black things there? These tables and booths. What are these little black things on the side? I like the look of the club on the inside. Yeah. That main room is this I love the best. That main dance floor I love the best. It's actually got a platform here as well. There's a platform in the middle, and then on the roof there's this light bar. There's this LED light bar that's forms like a square that gives you all the light, and I'm assuming they could probably change that and shit. That's fucking great. It looks warm, it looks sweaty in there. Is that the DJ booth or is that the bar? That's a bar with all the little lights on there too. This kind of reminds you of the things that you see on the ground. There's the fucking toilet with the fucking communal taps and shit. Nice and industrial. Yeah, I love that. That looks fucking brilliant. I ain't mad at that in the slightest. Club Realm. Alright, cool. Big up fucking Club Realm. That looks fucking brilliant. Any other bits and pieces there? Save Panda, Queer Infractions. Okie fucking dokie. There's a Days magazine article. Club Ram is pushing nightlife forward. Amsterdam Club Ram is pushing nightlife forward. What's that? Let's see some of the images here. Pushing nightlife forward over there in Amsterdam. Oh, trees. Got some LEDs here with some smoke and shit. Yeah. You can't go wrong. Loads of vibes in these pictures. Loads of vibes. You get the vibe. What does it say on the article? Dance floor theorist Mackenzie Walk once explained the etiquette of a club can be judged by the resistance of moving through a crowd. Encountering rigid torsos, deliberate obstructing limbs is a telling of a stiff, unwelcoming space. But Club Round, Amsterdam-based queer venue, moving through the thickness of the bodies is effortless. This fluidity is not accidental. Movement, both physical and cultural, has always been a part of the heart of Round Room. Before settling into a permanent space, founders Diego and Sven took their queer party, meaning room for play, to nondescript venues across the city. Nondescript. We were intrigued by the meaning of play and how important it is for self-development, explains co-owner Sven. Noticing cracks in Amsterdam's queer nightlife, they set out to lay out their own foundations. With the demand of the more permanent fixture, it wasn't long before the foundations became physical. Architects and early spellround partygoers Bram and Joachim set to work designing Club Ram, a playground-like venue housed in the sweaty ceilings. They created a space where you can lose yourself. Ram is a constant flux, not just with the sweated, sheened bodies and undulated dance floors. Club Ram shall never be completed. It's always to be a movement. But here, movement is also what is physical and is reciprocal. Within its smoke-clouded rooms, the crowd feeds off the music, and the music in turn responds to the crowd. Whee! The relentlessness of the breakbeats of Spill Room line up, absorb the energy of the room, push it back out of the intensity, whether the hypnotic precision of Resident Razor or the politically charged techno of Sandrine motion in the club. Okay, the people of Realm. These are some of the people that attend the parties. Let's see their faces. There they are, the people. The people. You can't be mad at that. Yeah. Seems like a good little vibe. Big up Amsterdam. They know how to party well over there. The exchange isn't all about music. In a time of rising political tension, Realm has become a refuge of a rave. As it's a rave, clubs have always been a sanctuary for queer people, places where those who don't fit in from the heteronormative can find freedom, purpose, and safety. We want to listen. Amsterdam's club scene has shifted since Ram's deceptions. Things seem to be way more event focused nowadays, says Diego. The financial risk of running a club is higher. The state of the economy means that people have less disposable income, as it's not easy for people to go party every weekend. They choose to go their clubs carefully. But evolving from a party to a club round, resisting the pressures, staying rooted in the sense of community, the one thing that would unite us is the shared commitment to actively supporting and uplifting each other. Beyond logistical hurdles, Ram has a lot of pushback against misconceptions. The big stigma around night culture, especially queer culture, many might view it as two-dimensional with sole purpose of promiscuity. But Ram is proving otherwise, recognizing that nightlife is more than just escapism. Diego and Sven are shaping the club into a space for dialogue, learning and artistic development. This year, the club is launching a series of panel discussions and cultural events. Alongside these conversations, they include introductions of talks, music production and queer history, as well as a new residency program in Amsterdam-based artists, ensuring that Ram's movement is always as forward-thinking. Yeah, I love it. The club sounds fun. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Really? Big up Lucas sharing on the street chat. Was that another club in closing, man? Omera in London is closed in the new year. Really? I don't think I've ever been to Omera. What's Omera? I don't think I've ever been to Omera. Omera in London. I don't think I've ever been to... No, I've never been to Omera, to be fair. Omera is a 9th edition festival. Never ever been to this place. They're closing. Fucking hell. Great, I guess. Horrible, but great. Is it more of a live venue? Looks like, right? More of a live gig venue than... I guess they also do club nights too. Looks like a vibe though. Big up on Mero. R.I.P. if that's the truth. We're always losing fucking venues over here, man. We're always fucking losing venues. It never fucking ends over here in London. Never fucking ends. But anyway, that has been the Agostino's English episode number 986. Big up everybody for tuning in. Episode number 986 of the Agostino Zinga Show. Thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time tuning into the show, you know what to do. Smash the like button, hit subscribe down below. Don't be lame, don't be lame. If you're watching it via the Kick platform, I appreciate you so greatly. Thank you for being here with me. Make sure you follow the channel. Make sure you come back, and next time I'll be more than happy to have you here with me again. And big up everybody watching directly via the YouTube. Now, to end the show, we're going to play my song of the day. I don't usually play these on the YouTube because I get fucking blocked, but why not? I'll do it today and then I'll probably take it off later. But let's play my tune of the day. My tune of the day, for those of you that care and listen to the show, will be courtesy of Ackerman. Big up Ackerman. It's from his new little EP that he put out called Precision Tools. The tune I'm going to play as my song of the day to end the show will be called I'm a Killer Tool, from the EP Precision Tools that just came out recently, courtesy of the artist Ackerman. Big up fucking Ackerman. Let's fucking go.